All right, good morning, everybody. What the hell? Why did I sound so weird there? What the hell was that? What the hell? Okay, sorry. Let me do that again. Hold on. Let me do that again. I don't know what that was. Yo, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing great today. What the hell was that? I didn't know. Sounded like a freaking text in there, man. Dude, who watched The Last of Us last night? Oh my God. I didn't expect to cry in that show, but I didn't actually cry, but I was holding back a little bit of tears. It was pretty sad. Really well done. Let me pop this chat out over here so I can actually read. Do this. Do this. Do this. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I won't spoil anything. Don't worry. I respect it. I would be very upset if someone spoiled it for me, so I won't spoil it for you. It was really good though. Like I honestly think that looking back on that episode, it might be one of the best television episodes I've ever seen in my life. Like it was really well done, and it was I couldn't believe how great it was. I was sitting there like, what the hell am I watching here? But it was good. I hope everyone likes it who watches the show. All right, we got some beef to handle here, chat. Hold on, I gotta fix I hate when my hair like pops out. We got some beef to handle here. Okay, I was reading through the comments from last stream because last stream we went through the custom Reddit side rather than the normal side, and it appears to me that there has been some kind of discrepancy in what I determine. Let me just restart that sentence. There seems to be some kind of discrepancy. It's been a day. It's like this is the next day, in case anyone's curious. Okay, in case you're watching this, like obviously, there seems to be some kind of discrepancy in how I determine what a good flavor is of a card. Now, if you don't understand what flavor is of a Hearthstone card, is where you look at the card and you can understand why it has the effect, why the card is named like that, the art, etc., etc. This is kind of a spoiler alert. But this is one of the best cards that we saw from custom Hearthstone yesterday. And I really like this card because this card has a really, really good flavor. It's also pretty balanced for what it is. And the flavor of this card is very easy, right? It's normal human. It's called that because there's 3 Murlocs hiding in the coat, and it has a 1/3 stat line. I thought this card was absolutely beautiful. Like orchestrated, or not orchestrated, designed wise, balance wise, the flavor of this card is phenomenal. People were getting mad at me in the chat because of this card right here. I haven't played Warcraft at all, and I don't understand the lore behind what Pyramid does. So I was like, okay, I didn't really like the flavor. And the problem with this card for me is I just don't know how a totem transforms into a desert obelisk, right? This is something that I have to, I'm going to count my flaws as someone who hasn't played World of Warcraft or don't know much about Warcraft lore, is I don't know how desert obelisk turns into or how a totem turns into a desert obelisk. I can understand that Pyramid is probably some kind of big entity from the Uldum region that has the ability to transfer something into a desert obelisk or activate a desert obelisk. But in my opinion, it's not very clear as someone who has not played Warcraft that totems transform into desert obelisks. And why would they do this? This is also a very scary design, but I was focusing on the flavor aspect alone. And that's why I just don't think the flavor is nearly as great as a normal human, because to me, the flavor here is so clear why the card is designed like this compared to this, where I just don't understand why a totem would turn into a desert obelisk. Why would Pyramid transform a totem into a desert obelisk? Even though in World of Warcraft lore, sure, there is desert obelisks in the Uldum region. As someone who plays Hearthstone and not World of Warcraft, and I think people would agree with me that the flavor of this card is just not as apparent as something like a normal human. And that is why I gave the edge to normal human. Right. I also just think the card is just not nearly as well designed as normal human. Of course, this card could be buffed or it could be changed slightly, but you're back at this. It's a pyramid, dude. You're not understanding my point. The fact that you wrote that comment makes my point even more here. Is how does a pyramid transform a totem into a desert obelisk? Explain that to me. Explain. Why totems into a desert obelisk? Why does a pyramid do that? I can't wait. I'm really excited. Let me know. I'm patiently waiting. I can't wait to see this. I can't. Tanks, you got it, man. Let me know. Prove my point. Explain to me why. If you can't, you wrote Forsen. All right, perfect. Like what? That proves my point right there. The ability to have this is fine. I don't care that this is some magical pyramid that transforms something into a desert obelisk. But why is it a totem? Why would this card specifically do the totem? And that's where the flavor matters a lot, is that this is so direct. It's right in front of you. I could taste that card and I would understand what the flavor is. You wouldn't have to tell me any of the ingredients. But if I look at this, I don't know what I'm going to taste. My palate's going to be all confused. You know what I mean? What am I eating here? Is it like carby? Is there any spices? Is it some turmeric maybe? Some turmeric. Anyways, I thought I would clarify that for people who did not understand why I thought this one was fine. Also, I feel like if a card you have to know that it's from Warcraft lore when Hearthstone is now called Hearthstone, not Heroes of Warcraft anymore. It's a little sketchy, but it is okay. This card's not bad. I just thought the flavor of this card was better. Also, the design of this card is ugh. I have an hour to finish an essay before I go to a conference. You really have to stream now? I do want to stream now. I want to edit this video today. That's my goal. And do other stuff. Anyways, I'm going to look at hearthstonecards.net today, chat. And we're going to just hide this card for the time being. Shaman Evolved stuff. He is a pyramid. He makes desert stuff. He was also trying to make desert obelisk. That was a shit card. Makes sense. That doesn't explain the flavor at all. You're just saying what the pyramid does. The fact that you're going so deep makes this even harder to see. Wait, they changed the name of Hearthstone? Hearthstone has been changed for a while, my good sir. It used to be called Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft because everything was based off Warcraft lore. And it still basically is. But now it's called just Hearthstone because a lot of the stuff is not canon or they're doing their own lore. Blizzard things. Anyways, we're going to start with this. Okay, where did I want to start? So we're doing the top 50 of this on this site. I'm gonna do, I had this all planned out. Was this the first page or the second page? So this is page 3. We shouldn't be on page 3, right? Some of these cards are like whack. They're just kind of, they're just not. There's like 1, 2. So there's I did the math earlier. It's 4 times 9, which is like okay, it's 9, 18, 27, 36. So we'll start at the bottom of this page and go from this basically. It meant to be a tabletop game in Azeroth. Yeah, it started off with Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft. Yeah, but now it's just like its own little thing. I think is what they're going for. I'm not sure. Okay, anyways, we're gonna start with this card, and we're gonna slowly pick the best cards of each one. I am also gonna move my camera for the sake of it. We're not gonna really read comments here because I feel like comments are cheating, but we'll do this for the time being. All right, here we go, chat. Examiner Jeeves, 10-mana 5/5, Battlecry, cast a copy of all spells from your hand. Target this if possible. Priest and Paladin, cast a copy of all spells from your hand. Into mech. It's not super okay. So I'm gonna just go through the flavor in my opinion, right? I don't know who Examiner Jeeves is, right? So Examiner Jeeves doesn't look super magically, like he's just like he's a mech. Why would a mech want to cast all of the spells from your hand? From your hand, right? Target this as possible is interesting. It's a 10-mana 5/5. Why is this a paladin in priest card? If this is gonna have this kind of effect, it should probably be a mage. Should have been like a paladin plus mage. So a little confusing here of what this card is actually going for. I'm not 100% sure. He's not a pyramid bad card. Knowing what Jeeves is, this doesn't make much sense thematically. He is a robot servant and butler. Makes no sense in mage, right? But why would this be in paladin? Like, I've never seen paladin have an effect like this. Cast all copies of spells in your hand. Paladin, I don't think has ever had a card like that, right? The def self bug target, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. It seems too slow. I mean, a 10 mana 5/5, it's absolutely trash, right? Paladin is literally the buff class. Yeah, guys. Oh my god. Guys, just because Paladin has the ability to use buff spells doesn't mean that this idea, casting all spells from your hand, makes any sense for the Paladin class. Do you guys understand that? It's just because it has the ability to cast buffs on minions doesn't make any sense. Doesn't mean that this text makes any sense for Paladin or Priest. You don't want to cast a copy of Fireball and Juice. You don't. But this doesn't seem like a Paladin thing to do. It makes so much sense. I disagree with you. I just don't think it makes any sense. Paladins interact with hand a lot. What? Chat. Why would this be a Paladin card just because Paladins use hand buffs a lot? Like, you know what I mean? Consider it like Lanessa. Lanessa is not the same thing as this at all. They're not. Lanessa is a card that says recast all the spells you played on minions, which means you played every single spell in the game. There's never been a Paladin card, I can't think, other than maybe High Abyss Allura, that says cast a random spell like this. I don't like the design. I don't see this being a Paladin card. I don't see this being a Priest card either. I understand that both Priest and Paladin have the ability to hand buff, but I don't think that this card fits into either of the classes, is basically what I'm saying. Also, why is this 10 mana? It's not random. That's very true. It's not random. It's not random. I can see what you guys are saying. You know what? I'll take the L here. I see what you guys are saying, but I don't think it's a great design card. It doesn't feel right for Paladin or Priest. It just feels weird. Feels weird. Also, 10 mana, pretty hot dog. You wouldn't want to keep your spells in your hand for that long. It's pretty garbage. It could be like, I actually think that if you did maybe Druid would make a little bit more sense. It's very interesting. I don't know. 10 mana though is absolutely garbage. Also, is Examiner Jeeves from Skullman's Academy? Cards with bad flavor fit into Hearthstone pretty well. We have Scorpion that discovers a spell. That's fair. You know what? You do make a good point. You do make a good point. Okay. I don't like this card. We're going to move on. Okay. Scaling Drink. 2 mana for Priest. Draw a dragon. Give it +1/+1 for each dragon in your hand. This is a phenomenal card. I love this card. This is great. This fits the flavor of Priest. The flavor is right in front of you what this card does. And balance-wise, it's actually not that bad. It's pretty great, actually. Tutoring a dragon and then potentially giving a bit of bonus stats is really great. Priest and Paladin are both the dragon classes in Hearthstone. So it could be a Paladin card too, but I think it's they're going for Priest because of the, this is from Galakron's Awakening, which was Priest did a lot of dragon stuff during that expansion. It's pretty good. It's a good card. For Paladin. Oh, I should put music on. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Music. We're like sitting here like a bunch of idiots. It's a good card. All right, this is gonna be our #1 card for the time being until we find something better. What the hell just happened? Not the joke in the comments. He's scaling. All right, Blood Scent, 1 mana tradable card for warrior, rare. Give a minion +1/+1 for each damage minion. This is another pretty great card. Design wise, this is very well done. This is another really good example of good flavor of like, we know what Blood Scent means, as in, you know, you're fiending to, you know, kill some people. Every damage person gives you another Blood Scent, which means you get +1/+1. It's warrior. It fits right into the enrage package. All right, chat, we're on our first little guessing game here. Not a guessing game. We have to decide which card we like better. I don't know why this card would be tradable. I guess the idea would be like, I guess tradable doesn't really necessarily need flavor. I don't understand the point of it necessarily being tradable, but what do we think is better here, chat? I'm gonna do a quick poll. We're gonna just do, to make my life easier this time, because, you know, typing is 1. This will, the card Blood Scent, like the card we're comparing it to is always 1. And the card that we're not comparing, or the card that is currently in the lead, is #2, okay? Or like we're currently comparing it to. Which card has a better design? 1, 2. Later on, merchants shopping tip. It is true. Maybe Blood Scent is like, tradable doesn't make a whole lot of sense for this. So again, vote 1 for this card, vote 2 for this card in the poll. Shark, you might actually be correct. It might actually be Blood Scent for the Hunter class. Yeah. This card was designed before the mini set though, right? It's a little weird, but like Rawstride Viper also has tradable on it, right? So it's not that weird. It makes a little sense. All right, people like the dragon card more, so we're gonna keep the scaling Drake and move on. Supplementary Clause for Warlock, 3 mana rare spell. Summon 2 2/2 imps. The next mana crystal you break, recast this. Interesting. Very, very interesting card here. 3 mana for 4/4 stats is not bad. And you could actually work, it's an interesting mechanic for the next mana crystal you break, recast this. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, actually, you're basically paying 4 mana, but you lose the mana crystal, which is actually a big deal. You would definitely have to design it around it, right? Like that's the biggest thing. It's pretty weak. It's pretty weak. It would have to have a pretty great, it would have to be an expansion where they're designing a card around this, right? How would you even keep track of this? Excellent question. You just have to remember. It's a well-designed card though. It's cool. I like the idea. The flavor's also there. Like supplementary clause. Cool. It's an interesting card. It is infinite too. Yeah, you're right. It's a cool card. There's ways they could make this work. Like this, I could see this card being printed in Hearthstone, but the problem with it is like the mana crystal you break, recast this is an interesting phrase. A lot of people wouldn't know what that is. A nightmare for translators. And we're not going to count translators. All right. I think for the most part, translating is not something I'm concerned with, right? We'll just pretend Hearthstone's only in English. Hello, Rarran. Just stopped to say hello. Hey. All right. I like this card, but I think it's pretty safe to say I think I like this card a little bit more. I like scaling Drake a little bit more. I think this card is really well designed. It might be broke. It might actually, I don't even think it's broken for current Hearthstone. Even for Galakrond's Awakening, I don't even think that card's that broken. All right, we'll move on. All right, Thunderstorm. 6 mana shaman spell. Destroy all non-elemental minions. Overload 3. It's a nature. Okay, so once again, the flavor of this card is really cool, right? Thunderstorm, I would imagine that elementals don't get like hurt by thunder, so therefore you don't have to worry about it. This fits really nicely into an elemental base deck, right? You have the board, your opponent plays a board, you play this card, you're chilling. But it might be too slow. That's the bigger problem. It's virtually 9 mana to do this. But you could get the it's interesting. It's interesting. Balance is hard here, man. I like the artwork too. The artwork is really well done. I don't know if they made that on their own. What about water elemental? Like, good question. I don't know. I don't know enough about Warcraft lore. I'm assuming that elementals generally for shaman don't worry about electricity because shaman's like the nature elementals, right? You don't need the overload. Okay, well, let's think about this, right? Would this card be OP if you put this as one of the high-end cards for shaman in an elemental deck? Your opponent plays a board and then you just play this card and you get to keep your board? I don't think so. I think it's fine. It's also just an AoE clear, right? Like control shaman might run this. It's fine. I actually think it's a good card. It's not, it's probably average. I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's that weak. It could be, it could be 5 mana. It could be, it realistically could. It's cool. Again, I don't know if it's necessarily better than Scaling Drink here. I think this card is still better. Chat, if you guys want to have a vote on this, we can. Let me know. Compared to Dragonfire Potion, it looks much worse. They serve kind of different purposes, right? We can kind of say that this is a little bit of a different one. Question is Shaman class and is to have destroy effects. Good question. Has Shaman ever had destroy effects? It makes sense in terms of the card. But yeah, I agree. I don't think it's better than this. All right, we have our first location. Demonic Grounds. 1 mana for Warlock. This is a location, remember. Spend all your mana, summon a demon with stats equal to the amount spent. It's epic. Flavor-wise, it's fine. Like Demonic Grounds, you're summoning demons there. It's fine. It's location. It's kind of boring. But would this card be good is the question. The card is... It's not a very spicy card, to be fair. It's not a very spicy card. You're basically spending all your mana for stats. And it's just strictly better cards in the game for this, right? One of the cards I'm going to compare this to is the 6 mana Warlock girl, I forget her name, who just summons something equal to your hand. The demon's equal to your hand. The rogue location. Yeah, true. I think it's kind of strong. Why wouldn't you run this? At what mana cost is this strong? You wouldn't want this at 2 mana. You wouldn't want this at 3 mana. You're not spending, like, basically actually at every single point in the game, you probably wouldn't want this. Like, you're not playing a 5 mana 5/5 demon. It's like broken in arena. It's actually turbo broken in arena. It's pretty weak. It's very weak. Guarantees that you fit the curve though. I mean, in Hearthstone, are you ever really worried about filling your curve anymore? You have so much draw. There's just better stuff to do, man. There's just way better stuff to do. What about the Tree Legendary? Is 1 mana and gains +2/+2 for each mana. That's way different because what's her name? What's his name? Ivis? Ivis has Rush, Divine Shield, and Taunt for each mana that you spend. And it's +2/+2. This is literally +1/+1 for each mana. It's always bad. You're never playing this card. It'd have to have like Taunt for even probably me to consider the card in the deck, right? I'm gonna move on. I don't think it's necessarily even better than the Drake card. Ragnaros the Great Fire. So we had Ragnaros, which was a neutral card, and then we had Ragnaros the Light Lord, which is a paladin card. I don't know if Light Lord is actually in the game. 8 mana 8/8 elemental for shaman, colossal +1 battle cry. Your hero power becomes lava shock. Oh, we have our first colossal here. That's kind of exciting. Hand of Ragnaros, 3 mana 4/2. Your hero power deals 6 extra damage, and it's an elemental. Then you have Lava Shock. Deal 2 damage. Unlock your overloaded mana crystals. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is probably broken. The hero power alone is absolutely disgusting. You don't even need this. This card's irrelevant. Like it's slightly slow. I will say that it's not like a huge thing, but this is kind of like a quest line reward, right? As soon as the game is over, as soon as this is played, it's very spooky, right? It's also so much damage. It should be 9. Yeah, it would be it'd have to be a 9 mana 8/8 for this to actually see play, right? Because you shouldn't be able to use the hero power the card is played if it's that powerful. And because it's an elemental, you can cheat it out. Now, when it comes to the flavor of this card, what do we think in your chat? I would think that Rag would fit into the Shaman class because Shamans are the elemental guys for the most part. It kind of works. But the hero power is a little interesting. I understand what they're going for, but it doesn't really fit in line with the Ragnaros card, right? Ragnaros often is just a random effect. The Great Fire is a weird name too. Yeah. All right, we'll move on. We'll keep going. I gotta go faster here because we're doing more than 50 cards here. Luraxian the Renouncer. So isn't Luraxian the guy from Paladin? I could be wrong. 6 mana 7/7 demon. Start a game. If your deck has no neutral cards, renounce darkness. For those of you who don't know renounce darkness is 2 mana to change your hero power and all your class cards to a random class, and those cards cost 1 less. Loraxian the Renouncer is kind of funny. So I think it makes sense, right? The flavor is actually really well done in this card. If Loraxian is a Paladin-esque figure in Warcraft lore, which we have seen in Hearthstone already, right? It means that this guy's renouncing his warlock ways to become something different, which is really interesting. The fact that it is a start a game card means that it's actually better than it seems because you don't actually have to play this effect. It's right at the start of the game, which means it fits right in line with the deck you want to do. Is it good? Probably not. Renounce Darkness was a little bit of a meme, and it probably will always be a meme. You're also putting this card in for that effect, so it makes it a little bit worse. I really like the flavor of this card. 6 mana 7/7, pretty good stat line. It deserves that legendary gem. It really does. This card also gets renounced. Yeah, okay, that's also fair. So you never get to play with it. This is cool. Cool card. Makes sense. You don't need to run darkness at all. Yeah, it fits that archetype so well, right? I kind of like it, chat. I'm gonna be real with you guys. So we're gonna compare this to Scaling Drink. We're gonna do another poll here. All right, we're doing another poll. All right, chat. Remember, this is 1, this is 1, this is 2. Feel free to vote. This is cool. Do a meme section to this so you can just put it in number 1 somehow. No. It's cool, man. I feel like I'll be real with you guys. Like, as someone who's played Hearthstone for a very long time since closed beta, this is 1, this is 1, this is 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. This card would probably be one of the most played cards of all time if it was in the game. It would probably be a fan favorite. It'd be extremely popular. Extremely popular. It'd be really, really popular. I like it. I think it's really well done. It might be one, like, I think so many people would play this. I think so many people would play it. This is a card I could see them printing in Hearthstone. Like, that's what I would say. More often play the Whizbang. I mean, maybe not Whizbang. I'm not saying like it will be the most played card, but it will be extremely popular. People would love this. We can't see your mouse. Yeah, you can. It's right there. I see it. All right. The chat has spoken. Scaling Drink is gone. And we're putting on this. I actually feel like the cards in this is going to be a lot better than the Reddit section. The Reddit section is kind of a meme. All right. We'll move on. All right. Menacing Pet. 2 mana, 2/3 neutral beast. Battlecry. Discover one of your destroyed weapons. Infuse 3. Equip it. Menacing Pet. Discover one of your destroyed weapons. Equip it. It's a beast. I don't know, man. This is a very interesting one. So the flavor is kind of there. I can understand what this is like you maybe throw away one of your weapons and then this pet keeps bringing it back. Like, I think that's the point of it. Neutral doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I think it makes sense in terms of just balance in the game because multiple classes would probably want this if this card was played. Battlecry. Discover one of your destroyed weapons is a very, very good effect. And if you can infuse it, it's probably broken. It's a very powerful card. Like, it's a very powerful card. This card is very powerful because you only want to play one weapon and then get this card in your hand, right? Carry all enjoyers. It's cool though. The more I think about the card, the more I like the flavor of this. I think the flavor of this card is very unique. Pet is a creating weapon. It's fetch key. Exactly. Yeah, 100%. It's very good. It's a very good card. Incredibly powerful card here. But like, in theory, you would have to play the weapon first, then get it destroyed. Then you have to get 3 minions to die while this is in your hand, and then you create it. And I mean, I could see, I don't know if it would be broken, as it would be powerful for sure, but broken, I don't know about broken. The more I think about it, it's a very good effect. And I could see this card getting played, or sorry, I could see this card getting printed in Hearthstone. It's slow, but if you do actually end up getting it, it's very good. I like it. I think it's really good. I'm pretty for it, man. I like that. Okay. Now, I have a feeling that Loraxian here is going to be really hard to beat from a lot of people. All right. I feel like this is going to be really hard. Chat, we're going to do another vote and see what we come up with. Okay. Which card is better? 1, 2. All right, chat, vote. Remember, this is 1. This is 2. Yeah, I have a feeling that Loraxian is going to be here for a while. 2 is the old one. 2 is the old one. Is this card really good in aggro? Not necessarily, no. Loraxian's just a better card for Hearthstone. I think I would agree with that. How can I vote? It's in the chat. It's in the chat. There's a poll at the top there. It's really interesting, man. Like, both of the... I like this. I can already tell from the Hearth cards site, I'm going to like this a lot more. Because, like, we've already seen a lot of really interesting cards here. Can I see when Mage will get a decent draw engine? I don't make the cards, man. I don't know. All right, Loraxian Stan for the time being. Cool card, man. All right, John Graves. 2-mana 2/3 for mage. Whenever you hero power kills a minion, summon a 2/2 volatile skeleton. So I think it's very important to note here that this is from Castle Nathria. I haven't really been saying the where it's from, but I think for this one, it's very important to talk about this because that's when volatile skeleton was introduced for mage. Flavor wise, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. John Graves. It's like Bon Jovi, right? Yeah, that's what that guy said. Yeah. It's interesting that chat thinks that this is OP. I don't know if I would call this OP. I feel like this is actually not that good. It seems very good, but you also have to remember that your opponent needs to have minions on the board for this to work, and you have to have your hero power buffed, and you have to have this card in play. It's not very strong. It's not very strong. It fits that volatile skeleton archetype, which could be important. Like basically this card is dying. Like you have to have a good turn with this card. Otherwise it's not super great. No one wants to see a more ping mage. I mean, I don't think this is going to push the archetype further. There's some good synergies with this card for sure, man, for sure. It's not broken though. It's definitely not broken. Jake, I don't have any kids. I don't know why you keep asking me. Isn't this like DK Janet? Jaina is actually way better than this card. I would much rather have Jaina than I would have this card. It's fine. God, I gotta stop hitting this thing. I hate that I hit it. Should give your hero power 1 damage on the board also. I would probably agree with that. Yeah, we can issue with a card that you don't need to build the direct card and just slotting in an existing one seems strong. You got let's look at this, guys. Remember this. You have to have let's into the prerequisites of this card to actually be good. You need to have your opponent has to have minions on the board. 2, your hero power has to be buffed. 3, you have to have this card in your hand with another card, which I'm guessing we're gonna call as the reckless, whatever the hell his name is. That is 4 prerequisites just for this card to be good. Most of the time you're drawing this, it doesn't do anything. This isn't that good. It's a cool card, but sorry, it doesn't speak to me like this card. It doesn't speak to me than this card. It's fine. Good card. I can see this being printed. All right. Treasure Hunter Hooktusk. 7 mana 6/6 tradable. Battle Cry. For each time you traded this, add a random fantastic treasure to your hand. I don't know if they're going to show it. The fantastic treasures, I believe, are like 3 mana. Draw 3 cards from your deck. They're 0. Summon 2 legendaries. Fill your hand with the next card that you draw. I can't remember the last one. There's one more. I know there's one more. So this is a very interesting card. We got to talk about this. I want to speak out most importantly about the flavor of this card. I really like it. I really like this card. They're a pirate. They're constantly looking for treasure. They probably trade their treasure. That's the whole point of the tradable effect. It's really cool. Really, really cool card. It fits into a lot of different archetypes in Rogue though. It kind of slots in to a lot of different archetypes, which is a very scary thing to have in Rogue majority of the time. We don't really want that for Rogue, right? Scroll down, there's no treasures. It's just random cards. It's cool. Really like the design of this card. When is Do You Know Hearthstone coming back? It's edited. I promise it'll be soon. I don't want to give any hints. It's a very special episode. I promise, hopefully this week. Get this card. I just don't like Rogue because it doesn't deserve good things. What the hell? I like this card a lot, man. I really like this card. I think this is a really well designed card. I don't think it's strong at all. I think it's super weak. Most of the time, not super weak. It's probably average. Like if you think about Togwaggle, right? Togwaggle was a good card because you got it on 6 mana. Maybe you're right. Maybe this card might actually need to be a little bit weaker. I think maybe 8 mana is a little bit better. A little bit better. Maybe 8 mana. You would play this on turn 8 and get a bunch of treasures if you're ahead, and it'd be really, really good. Like you wouldn't put this into a slow road. Like the way that I'm envisioning this card being played is that you play this card in like an aggro-s mid-range type rogue deck, and this would be your finisher. Each trade is 1 mana. Good point. You know what? 7 mana makes sense. Yeah, you're right. 100%. But you're also drawing with the trade. It's not like you're just spending 1 mana for nothing. You're getting a cycle every single time you do it. It's really good. It's a good card. A lot of the treasures are very powerful too. Especially the wand. The wand is really good. It's like in Rogue. There's a reason why it was played so much, right? I like this card, man. But chat, is it better than Loraxian? Another poll in the books. Okay, remember, Hook Tusk is 1, Loraxian is 2. Oh my god, Hook Tusk is winning. Imagine getting 5 draw full hand. Yeah, but that's the risky you take. Like, think about how cool that is in flavor wise, right? You don't know what treasure you're gonna get when you go treasure hunting. You have no idea. So it's cool that it's random. Like the flavor of this card is so well done. Like it's beautifully designed. It's beautifully designed. Lothraxian, my bad. I just don't pronounce the TH. I realize. Hook Tusk would be again, just like Loraxian here, I think Hook Tusk would be a very fun card. Be a very fun card. Chat is actually voting for Hook Tusk here. Dun, 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 dun. A meme card shouldn't be considered for this list. What do you mean? This is just it's an awesome card. I would want this card in the game. All right, chat, the people have spoken. The people have spoken. This card is now the lead. Oh wait, I should open. Hello. All right. Brewmaster Layla. I'm gonna go with Layla. That makes a little bit more sense. 4 mana 3/5. Legendary for Paladin. Divine Shield. After this minion loses Divine Shield, give its powers and Divine Shield to another friendly minion. Okay. Here's the problem with this card. Its powers doesn't make any sense. What is its powers? It's I don't know what that means. Also, why would the Brewmaster A have Divine Shield, and B, why would it have the ability to give its powers away? Obviously she's invisible. Give Divine Shield, give it. She's passing the brew. Okay. Good point. Rarran Trading has been to much breweries. I don't leave my house. I'm just at, listen, it's important. I say, if I don't bring it up, Regal, if I don't bring it up, is chat gonna bring it up? I don't think so. But it's important, right? Because when we read a card like this, even though it might make sense after we discuss it, like give its powers is not, it's not something that would ever see print, right? And I'm trying to be realistic. Would this card see play in Hearthstone? No, it wouldn't. This card's actually broken. This card's broken. It's very good. 4-mana 3/5 Divine Shield is pretty decent. Give its powers, I would imagine that's buffs. And any buffs you put on this card is literally infinite. It's like Greybow, but almost more frustrating. Read the text on the right. Egwin has the same wording. I only used Egwin's wording because that's the only thing that we would have coherently, and I don't like the idea of the card referencing text specifically. It feels a bit out of flavor for the card to talk about the UI like this. He even acknowledges it. It's not the buffs, it's the text. Give its powers. Okay, so, but you guys see what I mean? Like, the fact that we have to talk about this means that it's a little weird. So it just gives this text. So the flavor is it's sharing a drink with every minion that you play. That's interesting. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know, man. I think it's fine. I think it's okay. The more I think about this card, the more we talk about it, I think it's cool in flavor. But I almost think that this card would be super frustrating to deal with. Maybe it wouldn't though. How broken would be a Divine Shield to every minion that you play, and then have to have that minion die to go to the next one? It wouldn't actually. The more I think about it, the less OP I think it is actually, isn't it? This is why it's important to discuss these cards, chat. Because you never know if when a card's going to be really, really cool or not. And sometimes at first glance, it may seem like a card is really good. Doesn't have to die to have to lose Divine Shield. True. That's a little bit worse. That's a little bit more broken, to be honest. It should be a death rattle. It should be a death rattle. This card just probably inherently would be too good if it was just Divine Shield, right? It's really annoying. Yeah, I like it. I like it. But I think it might be a little too strong. Holy shit. It'd be annoying just because unlike Egwin, when it dies, it's the next card that you draw. This card is like, if you have any other minion on board, it'd break that Divine Shield and then it goes to the next one. You could it'd be crazy, man. It'd be a wild card. All right, we'll move on. Kolg the Carver. 6 mana, 3/7 for Shaman and Druid. Battlecry, your treants and basic totems are instead totemic treants this game. Okay, cool. So just a reminder, I believe there are totemic treants already in the game for Skullman's Academy, right? They had that card. They had a dual class card already that did that. So you have a 2/2 healing treant at the end of your turn. Restore your 1 health to all friendly minions. Okay. You have a Searing Treant, 2 mana 3/3. You have a Stoneclaw Treant, 2 mana 2/2 a taunt. And you have a Wrath of the Air Treant, spell damage +1. We'll just say for the time being, because when this card was released, wait, was it still there? Was spell damage still there? Yes, it was. It was still there. Spell damage was still there. during this time. During this time, we'll count the fact that the spell damage totem is here. What is with my hair today, man? My hat is like the weirdest thing on the planet. I think it got rotated and forged when they added the core set. I think that's when it got changed. So it basically gives your treants and your totems a little bit of a buff. For 6 mana. I like the flavor of this card. I think the flavor of the card's cool. The carving treants into totems, or just making them into treants, makes sense in the druid and shaman class. It's nice. It's cool. It's a little slow. It would probably take a couple of games for this to be good. Maybe the wording could be a little cleaner. Battlecry, your treants and basic totems are instead. It should just probably be your treants and basic totems. No, for the rest of your game, your treants and basic totems are totemic treants. That's what it should read. It's really, it's decently strong in druid. It's very slow though. I think though, if I'm gonna be real, I think this card is just better. In terms of just everything we're looking for. It is slightly confusing though that it's treants and basic totems, but I think it's fine. I think overall this is a card you'd have to play with and then be like, eh, we're fine. Do we want to poll here, chat? Do we want to poll here? Is it worth having a poll on this one, or should we move on and get to the next one? Lower the cost, making the battle cry, upgrade your basic hero totems to atomic treants, make it shaman only. Move on. Okay. All right, most of the chat is saying it. I'm just gonna skip this one, but what the hell is that? Hold on, what? Similar cards show his glory cards. all right, it's funny, okay. All right, Breakout Buddy, 3 mana 3/3 neutral card, taunt, cost 0 if you control a dormant minion. Ooh, and it's for Ashes of Outlands, which is key because a lot of dormant minions were summoned or were printed during that set. That's really interesting. Cool idea. Cool idea. We're voting based on the overall quality of the design card, right? Quality, so it's basically what I think what encompasses design is the flavor of the card, balance, and how fun it would be to play and against. No more mana cheat. This could be straight up printed. I actually think this card is fine. People are saying in aggro it's broken. I don't think it's that good. It'd be really good with maybe the Fell dude. But God, I love the flavor of this card. It's so cool. Why would she have taunt? Good question. That's also an important thing. Maybe it just has no text other than cost 0 if you control a dormant minion. It'd be very good with the Hunter dormant minion, yeah. Remember what Quarter Creeper did? It's cool. So this is why when I say what encompasses design is this too good? Is this too powerful of a card? She has taunt because she is distracting her guard so the buddy can escape. I guess that's fair. Sure. Sure. Card looks like it more should have rush instead of taunt. Taunt makes a little bit more sense because she's a distraction. Yeah, that makes sense. This card could be very good. Could be very good. It should probably be cost 1 if you control a dormant minion. That's what it probably should be. So balance wise, it's a little too strong. We're not doing a meme card strategy. Maybe at some point. Three teals still cost 0. 3/2. I mean, so we had that one card. What was it? Like Fellwing. I forget what it's called. Where you did it cost 1 less for each damage you did to the opponent hero, and it ended up being very good. So they nerfed it from a 3/3 to a 3/2, and that card basically stopped seeing play. So maybe a 3/2 is fine. Expansion stable didn't mean anything yesterday to Lava Classic. Yeah, I realize that. That's why I haven't really been bringing it up unless it's important, and unless it's very important. I realize that. I do. I realize that. That's why I haven't just not talking unless it's very notable to the expansion, right? Because this one is part of Ashes. They did a lot of dormant stuff there. I think cost 1 if you control a dormant minion would be fine. But that being said, chat, I gotta move a little quicker. We're spending too much time on cards. We still have so many to go. Is this card better than Tree Hunter Hook Tusk? I think the problem with this card is it might be just awful to balance. It might be just really hard to balance because you're gonna have blowout turns too early on. And the bigger problem there is, how do you balance this card while still making it playable? It'd be because it's mana cheating so early on, and it would probably be played in Hunter with that card at the time. It'd be really annoying to play against. And at some point, it's like, if it was made for dormant minions that are bigger, like 6 mana, I feel like it's not worth our time. I feel like it's not worth. I'm gonna move on. It's too hard to balance. It's too miserable to balance. All right, Suppress Pain, 2 mana, Warrior and Paladin card. Give a friendly minion +2/+2. It can't be reduced below 1 health on your turn. So this is a very Paladin and Warrior-esque thing to do. Suppress Pain is a pretty good flavor of this effect, right? You're giving them, like, I would imagine some kind of drug or some kind of spell that makes them feel stronger and they feel like they can't die. That's really good. Really cool card. 2 mana to do this seems pretty reasonable. Could be very powerful, but I think it's fine. It'd be really annoying at, like, again, it all comes down to aggro, right? Would this be broken if it goes from, like, you play this something on turn 1 into this? In terms of Warcraft influence, this effect in Warrior Priest would make more sense with Ignore Pain and Repression. That's completely fair. I could get behind Paladin, though. I understand it. It makes sense in terms of what they have done over the years for Paladin. It should probably say it's a little too good at the moment. It should probably say it can't be reduced below 1 health this turn, not on your turn. Because the fact that you can keep on going with this effect would be disgusting. Like, you could infinitely trade at some point, which I probably would be bad. The main way you would probably use this is you play this on turn 1 with you play a minion on turn 1, your opponent plays something, you play this, and then it just kind of pops the hell off. You have to kind of reduce it. What do you mean? This is like 3 mana +2/+2 consume immunity for Hunter. It's way better than that because it costs 2 mana. The difference between 3 mana and 2 mana is ginormous. Like, it may not seem like that. That's a 50% increase. It's insane how much more effective this card would end up being. And your opponent has to answer this card, which means they're probably spending their mana to kill it. And if they don't kill it, it's like, oh my God. It'd be miserable to play against if this card was that good. Now in Warrior, it may be okay, but Paladin, because Paladin has a lot of Divine Shield minions, it'd be very snowballing. It'd be very snowballing. It might have to be 3 mana if it was going to be kept like this. I would think it'd have to be this turn. I think it'd be 3. I think it'd have to be this turn, or if they left like this, maybe 2 mana. Hand of Adult's a close comparison. Yeah, that's true. It would just be, the problem with this card is, again, it'd be too snowbally. Like, if your deck can't beat this card, you just lose. You remember losing to Iron Deep Trog because you just had no minions to kill it? It'd be kind of that same idea. If you don't have any spells to kill it, you just die. Also, maybe a rare. I mean, rare's fine. Rare's fine. Rare's fine. Could make it immune this turn. That might be very scary, but it could be fine. The problem is showing the effect of the UI as well. No, they actually, this effect right here is in the game, so it wouldn't be that bad. But that's why, like, maybe with each progressive turn it would make a little sense. Yeah, I think it's fine. Do we want to have a poll against Hook Tusk here, chat, real fast? I'm a little scared of this card, to be honest with you guys. Could have died of poison. Probably good. It's kind of hard to see chat on screen. Not sure how much this means for future non-live viewers. I'll be okay. All right, most of you are saying no, so I'm just gonna move on. Okay. This is an expansion. I'm just gonna pass it. Wave Forming. 3 mana frost spell for mage. Add a 3/6 water elemental to your hand if an enemy is frozen. Also summon one. It's a very slow card unless you freeze a minion. Oh, hey, it's me at the top comment. Is that you? Slow. It's a slow card. I like the flavor. It's cool. Waveforming, make a water elemental. It's a little slow. You could kind of manipulate this a little bit though. It's basically like, let's just imagine for the most part here, it's gonna be like 4 mana to summon a 3/6 and get another 3/6 in your hand. But there are cards that make this card better, right? I think this is actually a really well designed card. The more I think about it, I think I like it a lot. It's cool. You have to use another card to get another card back, but you do summon a 3/6 elemental on turn 3, which could be very good. It's good. I like this card. All right, chat. I think this is fine for a vote. I actually legitimately think this is a really well done card. All right, remember, 1 is for waveforming, 2 is not. The benefit of this card is like it's like a deck building decision too, right? It's cool. A lot of interesting combo. It's very nuanced for a mage. I like it. I really like this card. Summon an elemental for each frozen enemy. I think that's a little too good. It's a little scary. Chat, if you vote. Do we have Hook Touch Treasure? It's the fantastic treasures that are already in the game. We went over it already. 2 updates for Creative Cloud Poggers. Let's go. Card also is cool because, like, dude, I'm gonna add a little bit of an interesting thing to this card that I just thought of, okay? Because it seems like you guys are voting for Hook Tusk, which I think is fine. I like this card a lot. I think it's really cool. This card's awesome because usually with waves, one comes after another. So if you play this card and then you get a water elemental and you have another one in hand, you freeze something else and you get another wave. I think in terms of flavor, that is phenomenal. That's so cool. It's actually so cool. But I will respect the vote for this one. What's up, John? What's going on, man? Like that's this card right here is a really good definition of what you could do with a card. Intended though. Intended though is so funny. All right. We'll keep Hook Tusk for now. Hook Tusk is going to be hard to beat. That's a really well designed card. All right. Through the Water Lilies. This is a nice and simple effect. I like it a lot. All right. 1 mana shaman spell with nature. Dredge. Restore health equal to its cost. Okay. It's a very nice design. Very clean. Very easy to understand. Like it. Love it a lot, to be honest. Love the dredge mechanic. It fits very nicely into Voyage into the Sunken City. Flavor is pretty much on point with this card. This is very well done. Oh my god, some of these cards are so good. This is really cool. How is this not a real card is a very good question. Very good question. This has so many use cases to it, man. It can't be 0 mana because it's not a druid card, unfortunately. What's Dredge again? Dredge is you look at the bottom 3 cards in your deck and you pick one to be the next card that you draw. I legitimately think this card could be printed today. Like, I wouldn't be like, if they do the mini set for March of the Lich King, I'm pretty sure this card could be printed. They could just add this in if they wanted to. This is really cool. Really well designed. All right, this is another poll, chat. There's gonna be a lot of polls here. Oh my god. All right, 1 for the Water Lily card. 2 for Hook Tusk. God, I don't know if anything's gonna beat this card, but we'll have to wait and see. This is really well designed, guys. I can't understate how great this card is. It's really good. It's so easy to just put this into the game. It's better design, Regal. So you're voting for flavor, balance. Is it fun to play against and with? I just wanted a lot of you guys are saying I just wanted the game. All right, Hook Tusk is actually dethroned. I'm extremely surprised from this outcome. I can't believe it, but we're moving on. Goodbye, Hook Tusk. Hello through the Water Lilies. Wow, this is a tough race here, chat. This is a tough race. All right. Fogre? What is his name? Fogre, the tourist? 3 mana 1/1 neutral. Battle cry. Choose a fun time. Choose a fun times location to visit. Okay. Fun times location to visit is what we're going for. So this is a legendary card. 2 mana warm. Okay, so this generates you locations. Fogar should be an ogre. Good point. 2 mana, give adjacent minions +1/+1. If it's Fogar, give it +2/+1 instead. The art is so cool. Snowy Mountains, 2 mana, freeze a minion. If it's Fogar, draw a card. Wow. Damn. That's sick. That's awesome, man. 2 mana, deal 1 damage. Or sorry, Crystal Cave, deal 1 damage and refresh a mana crystal. If this kills Fogar, refresh 3 instead. Oh. Fogar's taking it. Wow. So we have to kind of dissect this card a lot. This card's really interesting, man. It adds mechanics with the location into the core set. It's pretty crazy. In terms of the locations themselves, honestly, this one's probably too weak. You do 3 damage over 6 turns. You can maybe do this, but it's so unlikely, right? I guess you refresh a mana crystal, right? It's actually pretty nuts. This is too scary. This is too scary. This is too scary. This has to be changed. This is too scary. Most classes would like 0 mana after you play for it to get just a free mana crystal whenever you want. It's really good. This is also extremely annoying, but I don't think it's that bad. I think this is reasonable. This has to be changed. This has to be changed. This has to be gone. This has to be gone. It's too good. Crystal games would be insane. Fresh does not give mana crystals. I mean, I'm sure in a lot of classes, you wouldn't have an issue with just refreshing a mana crystal, man. Chat, I'm gonna be real with you guys. As cool as this card is, it probably would never see print. It just wouldn't see print. It's really cool. I like the idea of this card. Like the flavor is real. The fuck? What just happened here? Where's my Foger at? The flavor of this card is cool. But it wouldn't see print. This is a balancing nightmare just on its own. It'd be a balancing nightmare. It also gets so tiresome if something was abused. Cool card though, man. Really well like the flavor of this card is awesome. Going to a different location. That's cool. I love the Photoshop's hilarious in this one. I wish he Photoshopped it in these two too. But it wouldn't see print. I'm moving on. I'm vetoing it, chat. Stay mad. Kobold Soul Taker. 4 mana 2/5 rare. Kobolds and Catacombs might be matter. Whenever an enemy minion dies, summon a 2/2 adventurer with a random bonus effect. Whenever an enemy minion dies, summon a 2/2 adventurer with a random bonus effect. God, it's pretty bad. Kobold Soul Taker is pretty interesting. I'm not really sure what the flavor is though, right? I guess the idea is people would go into the catacombs, they would die, you would take their souls, and then you get a random 2/2 with a bonus effect. Bonus effect would be like Lifesteal, Taunt, Divine Shield. We've seen it with Forge of the Barons. Like they had those like random adventurer kind of effects. I can understand the flavor. I understand it. It's fine. Like, honestly, it's fine. It's a cool card. Those are two different sets. Yeah, but it was designed from it was designed with After Voyage, which means that those random bonus effect adventures were already in the game. He knew what he was doing. I'm gonna move on. I actually, you know what, man? Honestly, like, it's often the simplest ones that are the best design, right? This card is so elegantly designed. It just feels really weak. It wouldn't see play. Yeah, we'll move on. Cool card though. Cool card. I like the idea behind it. Nax Ramis as a location. Guys, can I get a bunch of Nax out in chat? Nax out. Nax out. Nax out. Is Nax out? Nax Ramis. 2 mana. Location card. Destroy a friendly minion. This is Warlock, sorry. 2 mana location for Warlock. It is a legendary location. That's kind of spicy. Destroy a friendly minion, draw a card. Death Rattle, resurrect all friendly minions that you've killed. That's really interesting. Okay, I'm not sure what the, like, I'm not someone who played Warcraft lore, so I'm gonna assume the flavor of Naxxramas makes a little bit of sense here, right? With the resurrecting with Kel'Thuzad, isn't that where Kel'Thuzad's from? So the wording here is a little weird because it says resurrect all friendly minions that you killed. It should probably say resurrect all friendly minions that this killed, not you. The wording here is the wording's a little weird here. Unless that's the intent, unless it's supposed to be like, hey, or here's the card. Kel'Thuzad actually is from Dalaran. Yeah, but isn't he in Nax right now, Regal? I don't know anything about it. I just know from what I've seen in Hearthstone. If that's the intent he's going for the location to give you the minions that that this killed, I kind of like it. I think it's cool. I intended that. Is this you, Amber? It is. Okay. That's the guy the person that made this card is here. Also draws you a card. It's really good. Honestly, cool card. I like that it's legendary. I think that this is a location you wouldn't want two of in your deck regardless. And it's a powerful enough effect to be a legendary location. It's also very notable in terms of Hearthstone lore because it was literally the first expansion. So it feels like it should be a little bit of a legendary location. Fits right into Warlock, right? This is Warlock as hell. It takes a long ass time for this to break though. Long ass time. 2 mana to use this every other turn. This would proc on what, turn 8? Turn 8 to get a bunch of minions that are probably not that great for card draw. I think this is great. I think it's well done. Really well done. Turn 10, sorry. Wait, is it turn 10? You play this on turn 2, turn 4, turn 6, turn 8. So you can do it on turn 8. But you also have to have a minion on board you want to kill. This is a very strategic card. I love this card, man. Love this card. I think it's really cool. Really well done. All right. There's a lot of thinking that goes on with this card. And it's really, really cool. All right, let's do a poll. I think this card has potential. All right, chat. 1 for Naxxramas, 2 for Through the Water Lilies. What if you kill this card yourself? How do you kill it? You would kill it on turn 8 because it would lose a durability every single time. I think it's really cool. Super interesting. I think it fits the theme of like what would be a legendary location. There's so many use cases for this card. Destroy location tech card. Yeah, but isn't that for only for your opponent? Too strong for card draw with tokens? I disagree. You could cheat it with the landmark destruction card. I think that's fine. Like, you guys are acting like you're gonna get like the juiciest stuff from this card, dude. If you're playing this on turn 2, like you're not, it's gonna be even slower. This is more than fine. This is a good card. I like it, man. Cool card. And it seems like chat is agreeing with me. This is a good card, man. There's some really good cards on here. Holy crap. All right. We're on the Naxxramas train. Nax out, poggers. Fuck. All right. Deadly Dance, 2 mana for Demon Hunter. Deal 1 damage to all minions. Summon a 1/1 Ildari with Rush for every minion killed. This is a tough one, man. It's really good with spell damage. 2 mana to deal 1 to everything. It's not very good. I mean, even if you got like 1, 2, it's probably fine. I don't know, man. Looking respectfully. Better Maelstrom Portal. Yeah, it's probably, yeah. It's just a better Maelstrom Portal for the most part of it, yeah. For the most part. Wild Pyro without the need for a spell. A little different. It's probably fine. It's... I don't know enough about Demon Hunters to really talk about the flavor here, but from what I can see, Eldari seem to be in their wheelhouse. We have kind of effects like this for Demon Hunter already. Demon Hunters have the ability, like, so there's that ability, there's the card that was released when Demon Hunter was first released. That was not a sentence. What was that card? It was like 2 mana, deal 1 damage twice to all minions. It's fine. It's fine. We're not, chat, the art can be changed, guys, obviously. Immolation art, yeah. So this is the same thing, except for instead of doing it twice, you get Eldaris. Which the Eldaris can be used for drawing cards, keep on the board for tempos, like a swamp. This card's fine, man. This card's... But I think Immolation Aura is better because majority of the time, Immolation Aura is going to clear the board depending on what you want. People are saying in chat, Feast of Souls. Guys, we've had cards like this before, and Feast of Souls is still never ran. Like... The art is too... Okay, I'm not going to consider the art, right? The art could be changed, right? This guy literally just... This person just put Nax Ramus as the art. They would probably do something else for this, I would imagine. Fit more in line with the theme. Is it worth the poll here, chat? Immolation Aura is a really good card. And I think it's weaker than Immolation Aura. No. Okay. Dr. Merkenstein. Okay. 6 mana. Hero card for Shaman. Boomsday Project. Seems like that's important for the flavor of this card. Battlecry, summon a 4/4 Merkenstein's monster. Your hero power becomes Murgology. 2 mana hero power. Discover a Murloc. After a friendly Murloc dies, refresh this. And this is what your monster looks like. 4 mana 4/4. Death Rattle. Go dormant. After 3 friendly Murloc dies, this awakens Murloc. Oh my god. Okay, in terms of flavor, I really like it. I think it's cool. I think it's actually really fun. It's a fun card. 6 mana to summon a 4/4 monster. Does it have rush? Sorry, it does not. This is a very slow effect. It's a very slow effect. Hero power is fine. You're discovering a Murloc every single turn. For the most part, it's fine. And if you're gonna be discovering Murlocs a ton, it could be okay. It could be a little bit annoying at some point. There's a lot of good Murlocs in the game, so it gets a lot of weird depending on the problem. Okay, so the problem with this card theoretically is that it it limits design of Murlocs in general, right? Because if this card's in the game, you have to be very careful about what neutral and Shaman Murlocs are showing. But like you're trading so much tempo for value that I almost think it's fine. Like it's a very slow hero power, right? Generating value like this is probably okay. Like we can compare this to Agatha. And for people who don't remember what Agatha was, she was 8 mana, same armor, but she replaced your hero power with every single time you play a minion, you get a spell into your hand. So I think this is fine for the most part here. This is fine. Also, it has to be a Murloc that dies to refresh this. So you also get a 4/4 when this is played. Death Rattle go dormant after 3 friendly Murlocs die. This awakens. This is very weak. This is a very weak card. But I guess it's just a bonus. It's like a... Actually, the thing about this card is there's so many Murloc buffs in the game that this card at some point would be like very scary if the game goes on. Honestly, I think this card is fine, chat. The more we talk about this card, it's so slow. It's such a ridiculous win condition. But if you're going to go for the control Murloc Shaman Dream, this is probably fine. Like it's something that will take a long time to get going, and you probably put this into a Murloc Shaman deck, and I guarantee even a Murloc Shaman deck, you probably don't even want this card. This is a very grindy card, very slow, very, very slow effect. But at some point, the Murlocs would take over. And Dr. Merkenstein here would be pretty crazy. Racky doesn't keep the buffs. I'm saying it as like when this summons, right? Like you summon this again, you have like I don't know, Murloc War Leader or something. Or you have some other Murloc buff that's an aura. Or a Toxfin, right? Like it could be a little scary at some point. Can this discover be? So the only real issue with this card, is it would limit the design of Murlocs, right? And we're talking about this as if it comes out in the Boomsday, because I think the flavor is very relevant to Boomsday, right? It's that weird expansion with Dr. Boom, that Munis would not be in the game when this would be printed. This would be rotated out at the end of Descent of Dragons. So, and let's be real, Blizzard caring about Wild XD, so it's probably fine. I think it's fine, dude. I think it's a cool card. I'm gonna be honest. I understand why it's so high on the list on this site. Really interesting design. It's very slow, very slow. Honestly, maybe potentially give it a buff. But like, if you're running Murloc Shaman, I feel like this card is too slow. You never want them. You never want to discover, like, play this at 6 mana. It's so slow. This would be like a grindy deck. You would want a grinding deck. Like, this is printed at the same time as Hagatha. Would you rather have Hagatha or this card? I guess it depends what you really want to go for. All right, we'll move on. We'll move on. All right, chat. Do we need a vote? Is this card better than Naxxramas? I don't think so. I think Naxxramas is really well done. It's hard. I think Nax is a yes vote. Yes is okay. I'm gonna be surprised if this card wins. I might veto this depending on how close the vote is, but go for it. 1 for Merkenstein, 2 for Nax. How much is Rarran's vote worth? I decide. Sometimes chat is too they're too ridiculous when it comes to cards. All right, Nax is fine. Nax is chilling. All right, Verdant the Ever Living. 3 mana 3/4 elemental for okay, hold on. Quick question. Would elementals be in Demon Hunter? I need people to know and find that. Taunt, Death Rattle. If you didn't play this, return it to your hand with 3/4 permanently. No. Why not? Well, I mean, it fits in theme with the class, right? They seem more demon-y than they do elementally, but I'm not gonna say like no. This card's very slow. Would you play a 3 mana 3/4 taunt? Probably not. Would you play this card if it came back to your hand as a 3/4? Maybe, yeah. How do you get to play it? How do you play this card? Or how do you summon this card? Imagine having demonic elementals. Is that a thing, Regal? I actually have no idea if that's a thing. The Death Rattle package. Okay, correct. And it was printed during Forge of the Barons, right? Dirty Rat, give to the opponent. Yeah, I don't know about that there, guys. A Larvo bot? Yeah, guys, let me just play a Larvo bot. If it's printed at Forge of the Barons with the Quillbor guys, it could be a little spooky. All right, it could be a little spooky. This is a very powerful effect because if you replay it the following turn, it's a 6/8 for 3 mana. My God, Tazdingo's in shambles right now, guys. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's fine. I don't really understand the flavor, to be honest. I could be wrong, but if it's for the Forge of the Barons package, it doesn't look very Forge of the Barons-esque. It doesn't scream to like I don't understand what the card is doing. So I'm gonna veto this. I'm gonna veto this. I'm just gonna veto. I just don't. I look at this card and I just don't see a Demon Hunter theme. If I'm being real, Verting is from the Wailing Caverns. Okay. That's my fault for not knowing that. I obviously don't know it. I don't play World of Warcraft. I don't mind. It would make a little bit more sense if it was a demon personally, but I understand why it's an elemental then if it's from the Wailing Caverns. Yeah, I'm gonna veto it, chat. It's fine. Mr. Pokelope. 2 mana 1/1 beast neutral legendary. At the end of your turn, shuffle a copy of this minion into your deck. Death Rattle, summon all Mr. Pokelopes from your deck. Okay, so let's discuss the flavor here. I'm not really sure what this is. Like, is Pokelope something from Warcraft that I just don't know? I don't really understand what it's doing. Text is too long. At the end of the turn, shuffle a copy of this minion into your decks. I think the text is fine. It just looks wrong. It's a very spooky effect, by the way. Very spooky effect. A lot of you guys seem to notice this, that this is a card that's so miserable to balance. It's so miserable to balance. 2 mana 1/1. Like this card is either extremely broken or it's extremely weak. There's no in between with this card. It's like the best version of Weasel Tunneler. It's a little different. It's a different use case, right? For the most part, it's pretty weak. It's pretty weak. No fatigue. Listen, if you're playing this card in your deck, I don't know if you're ever. I mean, maybe you could, I guess. It's a miserable balance. Like, it's so hard to balance this card, right? Unless you get Flick. Oh, if you had Flick. Oh, that'd be so fun. It's fairly snowbally. I'm going to veto it, chat. I'm going to veto it. I wouldn't want to play against this card. It'd be like so miserable if it became popular. Departed Souls. 1 mana shadow spell for priest. That's an epic. Swap your hand with your random friendly minions that died this game until the end of turn. Swap your hand with random friendly minions that died this game until the end of turn. Interesting effect. I kind of like it. So in other words, it's like if you had 5 minions die this game, you replace your hand with those 5 minions and that's your turn. You can just play those minions again. I gotta move a little faster here, guys. I feel like I'm taking way too long on some of these. I'm gonna be real with you guys. So we're gonna move a little faster. Interesting fact, I actually think this is very playable. It doesn't feel broken at all. Like it's, again, like even if I play this on turn 10 and I can play multiple minions that died this game, I think that's completely fine. Unless there's some broken interaction with cards that you don't want to see again, it's fine. Like it almost feels worse to play this than it is to play a Mass Resurrection. But that being said, the effect is really cool and the flavor is awesome. Like it's really cool. I love this card. I think it's really unique. Now I'm gonna quickly go real fast here. Is it better than Naxxramas? Me personally, I think Naxxramas is still cool. I think it's cool. Really cool card. But most of the time, you're probably not gonna want to play this. Good flavor for Priest. Bring back, look, guys, back here. That's fine. All right, we'll vote real fast. Okay, here. Go chat. Fast, 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 fast. Really cool flavor. I like it a lot. All right, no. Oh, yes. Hold on. Well, oh, people like it better. All right. All right. Okay. All right. I like the flavor. I think that card is really well designed. I think it's fine. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's going to no. No, 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 no. Which is which? This is always one. The card that it's defending is always two. I think the yeah confused people. I think it's fine, dude. This has been the same poll. The only difference is that like it's just not the S because I didn't put the S. All right, I'm moving on, chat. I can't sit here for too long. I got literally things to do today. Wormrest Imperator, 3-mana 3/4 for mage, rare battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, your next fire spell costs 3 less. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's so well. It's so clean, man. It's so clean. It's for Voyage, but I don't think it's actually made for Voyage. Oh my god, it's so well designed. It's so good. It's so clean. It's amazing. I love this card. The flavor's so great. You're telling your dragon to fire something. It might be too good at a 3/4. It might be too good at a 3/4. But the flavor of this card is phenomenal. Supports the dragon archetype. All right, this is an easy vote, chat. This is a vote. We have to vote this one. This one, I'm not even gonna discuss this one with chat. It's too clean. It's too clean. It's actually too clean. I like it. Deck building exercise. All right, supports a slower archetype with dragons. Cool. Cool card. Is it better than Axe? This is 1. This is 2. Oh, sorry. My bad. I see the problem. I see the problem here. I see the problem. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, what's up? I see the problem. My bad. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to go faster. That's my bad. I hate that I have to remake the poll every single time. Like, it's not... Okay, 1, 2. All right, sorry. That's my fault, chat. Revote. My bad. My bad. 1 for this card, 2 for this card. Sorry. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right, Wormrest Imperator is the new card. This is a cool card. All right. Fell Hillgrove Keeper, 2 mana 2/2 for Demon Hunter and Druid. It's a rare. Choose one, give your hero +2 attack or immune this turn. Outcast, do both. Choose one, give your hero +2 attack this turn or immune this turn. Oh my god. This is sick. Doesn't feel very broken. Can never be printed ever? Why? Listen, the flavor of this card is phenomenal. It's so great. Like what we've seen from Illidan and like the interaction between Malfurion, it's amazing. Why is this card not OP? Why is this card why is this card not balanced? Druid attack, so does Demon Hunter. The immune effect is from Demon Hunter, but I think it's fine for Druid this turn. That's not broken. It doesn't say this turn. Give your hero +2 attack. I see. So the wording here is the problem. It should say give your hero +2 attack this turn. That's what it should say. That's the problem here. This turn. It should say this turn. This turn applies to both. It's just ambiguous. Sure. Okay. Doesn't say battle cry. That's fine. The one who's comment on the site's the best card ever. No one has said anything about this spectacular card. It is, after all, the best card ever made. It could be worded to be a little cleaner for sure. I like it. I think it's really well done. Very simple, very clean. The wording could be a little cleaner, but for the most part, it fits the vibe of both classes. The flavor's there. Chat, is it worth the pull? God damn, these last two cards are really well done. Oh my god, they're both so good. Damn. All right, vote. This is 1, this is 2. Oh my god. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. This is tough, man. Oh my goodness. We ask which card is better designed. Better design. Better design means balance, flavor. Is it fun to have in Hearthstone? Oh my god, chat. It's, oh, we got a lead. Yeah, I'm giving 10 more seconds. I gotta move on. This is tough. These are both very good. This is very good. This is very good. This is a very good card. God, I love the flavor of this card. It's actually phenomenal. Okay. Chat has made their decision. I will agree with chat unless I will not. I'm not going to veto it unless it's absolutely necessary. But this is a very well done card. Really well done. All right, I could be wrong, but I feel like this is a straight meme. Microsoft. All right, cool. Oh. Painter Apprentice, 3 mana, 2/2 battle cry. Draw a card based on your class. The warrior draws a weapon. Shaman draws an overload card. Rogue draws a combo card. Painter Apprentice, or Paladin draws a divine shield. Hunter draws a beast. Druid draws a choose one. Warlock draws a demon. Spell damage, healing. Outcast. Probably going to be a corpse card if I had to guess. Honestly, okay. Flavor of this card is really interesting, right? It's like painting for your class what you would want. That's really cool. Is it broken? Yo, what's up, Grumpy Kid? Yo, can I get a shout out for Grumpy Kid in the chat? Look at this, man. I just read that. Look at this. What's up? Shout out to you guys if you're in the stream. That's hilarious. It's so funny. It's probably too weak. I've seen this card before. It's too weak. It's really cool. Really cool design. I'm gonna be honest though, man. I think this card is actually phenomenal. It's gonna be hard to beat this card. I just feel like this one's too slow. Like, but the flavor's so good on this card, dude. It's so good. Could be 2 mana. Yeah, could be 2 mana. Could be 2 mana. 2 mana 2/2 for a tutor. It's cool. I like it, man. Two mana 2/2 draw a card. I think the flavor's a bit lazy. I mean, Painter's Apprentice draws what you want. It draws what you want, and you're literally drawing a card. Drawing a card. Like 2 ways. That's pretty sick. Like in terms of flavor, god damn. Crazy, dude. It's pretty sick. Really well designed. All right. I will make another poll for this. This one's actually, again, God, these are, I think every one at this point is going to need a poll because it's just so nutty. We got to go faster. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You're basing this off balance, design, and is it fun to have in Hearthstone? With the bottle, I drink a lot of water during the day. I like being hydrated. You got a problem with that, Andy? One, two, chat. 2 is always this card. 2 is always this card. Always the card that's defending. Dun, dun, dun. Just a weird bottle. I want one. It was like $100. I don't know why. I didn't even know the price. My girlfriend's like, hey, do you want this? She was like, she went across the border. All right, 2's winning. We're moving on. Fishy Vacationist. 3 mana 3/2 Murloc for Shaman. Rare. Battlecry. If this is adjacent to a Murloc, discover a Murloc. If adjacent to 2, keep all 3. Can we see the water bottle again? So this is a little weird. It's a little weird. 3 mana 3/2, pretty garb. So if you don't have a Murloc on the board, it's pretty trash. But if you have 1, it gets a little better, and then obviously if it gets 2, it's pretty great. And there's probably a lot of possibilities to actually get all 3 Murlocs. That being said, what is the flavor here? Someone describe it to me because I'm not understanding it, and I want to understand it a little bit more. 3 mana 3/2 for like, so Fishy Vacationist. Why would a Fishy Vacationist discover a Murloc? Flavor's the first comment. Introducing Vacationists. They prefer going on a holiday with peeps of their own tribe. They feel more empowered. So it's like their vacation buddy. Okay, I understand that. More friends you have for vacation, the better it gets. Sure. All right, I can understand that. If you're lounging on a beach alone, it's a sad vacation. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I mean, I think it's fine. I think the wording could be written a little, like the wording is a little messy. It could be a little cleaner. If the minion adjacent is a Murloc, if the minion adjacent is a Murloc, discover one. If both minions, I don't even know how you word this correctly. Adjacent mechanic is not necessary. It's a little too spicy. Like it's a little too weird. But I mean, it could probably get printed if it's cleaner. It would take a long time to make sure that this text is very clean, though. It would be broken in play. I don't think it would be. I think it'd be fun. If you could troll a Murloc. We already have a card like that, though. 3 mana, draw 3. It's not 3 mana, draw 3. It's 3 mana, draw 3 with prerequisite. You need to have 2 Murlocs in play to get 3. It's not just 3, draw 3. It's not like, you can't look at it like that. It's fine. It's really balanced, to be honest. Like the card as it is, it's balanced. It's fine. Cool card. I like it. I like a lot of these cards, man. Is it better than this card, chat? Is it worth a pull? Worth a pull? Not better. No. Okay. We'll move on. Most people are not. Dark Lurker Foom. 3 mana, 3/4 for Shaman. Another Murloc legendary. Start of the game. If all minions in your deck are Murlocs, enter Fin form. You got a hero power. Enter Fin form. 2 mana. What does that mean, though? 2 mana, add a random Murloc to your hand. I love it. I love it. I think it's cool. It's like everything that Murloc Shaman wants. Everything that it wants, right? The 3 mana, 3/4 Murloc, it's fine. It gives you the additional resources. How often do you want to play totems on the board as Murloc Shaman? Probably never. It's a huge balancing deck building requirement. Fin form? I don't really know what Fin form is, but I'd imagine that your hero would turn fishy. It's like Baku, but it's a version that introduced random. No, I disagree with you. It's not like Baku at all. Baku legitimately forced the metagame around hero powers, which means that it was the same redundancy over and over. Not redundancy, it's the same gameplay pattern over and over again. Where this is like, this fits in the Shaman and you're replacing your hero power in case you need extra Murlocs. Most of the time, you're not playing this, you're not hitting this button on turn 2. You're not gonna hit it on turn 3. You're gonna have Murlocs to play anyways. This is like your late game assurance to hopefully have enough Murlocs to finish off a game. So it's like, is it worth having this card in your deck so you have some value later on to try to finish off a game of Hearthstone? I think it's fine. It's not broken. I think it's pretty great. You don't want this to be broken. Murloc synergy is really hard to balance around. I think it's fine. I don't think it's better than the other card, though. I'm going to just pass. Oh my god, we still have so many more to go. Okay, Valiant Cavalier, 4 mana, 3/5 Paladin card with Rush. Immune while attacking minions. This would honorably kill. It's an epic. Guys, come on. On my way to comment this before Rarran looks. Are you guys just trying to race to it? Cool card. Very good card. Very good card. Really well designed. I'm gonna be honest. Really cool. Like the flavor here a lot. It's very nicely in a Paladin. It's very clean. Very clean. I think it deserves an epic. There's a lot of this is a very niche card. This is cool. Where it needs to be cleaned up. Rush, immune while attacking minions. This would honorably kill. How would you reword this? This is immune while attacking minions. It would honorably kill. It's interesting because it's like, it's not honorable kill per se. It's looking at it before it actually does the honorable kill, which is really interesting. This is taking a keyword up a notch. It's like evolving the keyword. And I think that's what makes this card so special, is that it's taking something that's already in the game and evolving it. What's the interaction with the get down secret? Well, because this is WoW, it would change it, right? While attacking minions with health equal to this minion's attack. It's the same thing as honorably kill, right? Honorable kill ignores the damage restore. You could do it like it restores the health equal to the damage dealt. You could do that, but immune and that are different. You could probably reword this though. I just like I think the card is so interesting because it takes a keyword and evolves it. You don't see that. I don't think I've ever really seen that in Hearthstone, right? It's very I like it, man. Good card. Dasha, you should feel proud for this one. This is really well done. It's maybe it might be slightly too weak. That's the bigger problem here. Ogre too strong in arena? What do you mean? Cool idea, man. Is it better than this card, chat? God, this Felgrove Keeper, man, is unstoppable. It's so good. It's such a well-designed card. It's actually incredible how good this Felgrove Keeper is. All right, we're moving on. I gotta go faster. I'm sorry if I go fast. God damn it. I keep clicking it. Me and the boys. 6 mana for warrior. Rare card, summon 7 Goldshire Footmen. This is so funny. It's so funny, actually. Me and the boys. All right, it's very weak. All right, that's the problem with this. It's super weak. Actually, I don't know, man. 7 Goldshire Footmen for 6 mana. They all have taunt. No, it's I'd rather just have Spreading Plague majority of the time, right? So it's very bad. That being said, really funny card. All right. Penguin Companion, 0 mana, 1/1 beast. Epic. This is for Nanette Thurman. Tradable with your opponent's deck. How could you? Thank you so much, Rarran Poggers. Thank you. This card's probably unplayable. I'm gonna be real. It's it's so interesting though, man. It's a really hard balancing act, you know? Like, this is a cool card because it interacts with your opponent's deck. It kind of reminds me of Parlay, where it wouldn't be broken, but I think it'd be too weak. Why would you want this? When you make a card, right? When you make a, sorry, not make a card. When you make a deck, you put cards in your deck because it works with your deck, right? Trading with your opponent's deck is not as good as you guys think it is. There are cards that just do what this thing is doing, but it's better. You would probably put this in Thief Rogue. I think that would be it. It's cool though, man. I don't know why it's called Penguin Companion though. I don't really understand the flavor of this card whatsoever, but sure. The Priest would work too. It's not Theatar, chat. It's not. Theatar is so much better than this. I would rather have Theatar. Every day of the week, I'd rather have Theatar. But the flavor is not there. All right. What is this? 3 mana 2/5 neutral legendary, a minion. Cards that affect a minion affect this instead. Oh, I see. So it gives an example. 2 mana. So normally this card would say combo draw a minion, but it would draw a minion, not a minion. What the hell? Mutinous the Devour. Eat a minion in your opponent's hand, get its stats. Wow, dude, honestly, really interesting design card here, man. It's so funny. It's so stupid. So silly, man. So funny. Is it good? Look at the golden animation. Where do I see that? Oh. That's sick. It's a straight meme, right? It's funny as hell, though. It's just... I want to shout the person who made this, Dustin. I don't know if he's here or not, but this is cool. Cool card. Probably wouldn't see play in Hearthstone. They wouldn't make a card like this, but it's pretty funny. A minion. Flows very nicely. All right. Broodlord Lash Lair. 5 mana 5/5 battle cry. Give the next dragon you draw +2/2 and this battle cry. And it's a legendary. I'm in chat, thanks. Oh, sick, dude. It's not a meme. It can protect a minion. I'm gonna move on. It wouldn't see print. Broodlord Lashlayer. Okay, I'm not familiar what this is in Warcraft lore. Is this a is this a guy that whips dragons into shape? The problem with effects like this, and we've seen this time and time again with cards like this, is if you don't get this on turn 5, it's really slow. And it's probably even slow then, because you're basically playing this to have a dragon in your hand and to just give the next dragon you draw a 5 or +2/2. I wonder how good it would be to be like, draw a dragon, give it +2 and this battle cry. But I think even that would be, it might be broken. Would it stack battle cries? Probably stack battle cries. Probably just add this effect to it. It's very slow. Very, very slow. Probably wouldn't see any play. Could you buff it though? Like, it's a cool card. The problem with the card, like the problem with these cards is like they're feast and famine, right? Sometimes they're insane. So if you make this like 3 mana or 2 mana, it might. I mean, even at 3 mana, I probably wouldn't play this if this was like a 3/3. It'd have to read like draw a dragon, give it +2/2 in this battle cry, I think, for this to see play. But that would be kind of fun. Be like continuous dragons coming down over and over again. But in its current state, I will be passing. Energy Channeler, 1 mana 1/3 for Shaman. It's a common. Has +1 attack for each totem you control. Okay. Okay. I like the flavor. Fits very nicely into Shaman. Deserves the common gem for sure. Very easy to understand. Very clean. Fits right into the Shaman class. This could be a core card. I don't know about an expansion, but it could be a core card. Really well done. Another really well smart card. Oh my god, that wasn't English. Really well done card. Really well done. What turn would you play this? Turn 1. Like, it reminds me of the that imp card. It reminds me of the imp card where you play the imp card and then you play imps after. It's kind of the same thing. It might be a little weak, but you probably want it like this because it doesn't really limit totem design. It's just a good card. I think it's actually really good, man. You know, people may say this card is boring, but it's very, very clean. Like, that's what you kind of want from your Hearthstone cards, right? Not every card needs to be like a really great effect or a crazy effect, right? It's just sometimes you just want cards like this. All right, chat. This is 1. This is 2. You're basing it off balance. Is it fun? And is the flavor good? This Felgrove Keeper, though, man, is really good card. Dun, dun. What if your totems get turned into desert obelisks? Feels like this card should all be reprinted. Yeah, dude, there's something to be said about these really clean cards that could just be in the game, right? Like this one, they would have to think on, right? But I could see this card being in the game right now. Like they could just add this in, and I don't think anyone would be like, wow, like that's weird. All right, 2's winning. We're moving on. Okay. All right, we're on the first page of all time here, chat. I gotta go fast. We're going Speedy Gonzalez here. We've already been streaming for 2 hours. Captain Black Sparrow. 5-mana 3/2 neutral legendary pirate. Battlecry, give a minion -1/-1. Destroy all minions with less attack than this. This is sick. This is a cool card, man. This is really good. What an interesting design, man. It's so cool. Why is this -1/-1? So the -1/-1 is like, let's say there's a minion on board that's 3/3 and this is 3 attack. You play this, you can make it a 2, you make it have 2 attack, and then it would kill it. And it makes sense, right? Because he's I'm guessing it means like they're sparring, right? Like he's a pirate that's fighting pirates like in combat. So because he's weaker, he would win. I love this card. I think this is phenomenal. What a well-designed card. It might be more appropriate for this to be in warrior rather than just neutral. It feels like a warrior thing. Because it not only has the board clear aspect, but it has the pirate aspect. Did you just say because he's weaker he'll win? Yeah, that's literally what the card probably reads, right? It's really good, man. Flavors there. I love the design of this. I'm surprised Hearthstone hasn't made a card like this. Give a minion -1/-1. It feels weird because they just never done this before. But I think that's what makes this card so special, right? Is like, it's something unique that Hearthstone hasn't tried. I love this card, man. I think it's really well done. All right. Another poll, chat. Like, it's so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool. I like it. I love it. I like it. I love it. All right. This is 1. Hold on. I gotta. Oh, shoot. Ah. What the hell? Hold on. 1, 2. Do not click on cards anywhere. People are saying bad things in the comments. Oh, that ruined the fun. Dude, Dustin, this is a really good card, man. Oh, you didn't make this card. Caesar did. Sorry. Have you seen Rattleglar has it? Sure. Sure. Like, this is a card. Like, I love this card. I think this card's also really well done. But I can literally see this card being made and put into the game, and people absolutely loving this card. There's so much to this, man. That you could play around this card, right? You could think about it if your opponent is gonna play a card like this. It's so interesting. The flavor is so good too. I love it. I love it. I'm recommending hiding the comments on the next one. Man, people suck. All right. Goodbye, Felgrove Keeper. You lasted for a very long time. You're now gone. All right, chat. Unfortunately, I'm going to leave it like this, I guess. God damn it, guys. Come on, dude. Can I hide this? Can I do this? All right. Apple Pie Baker. 4 mana, 3/5 neutral, common. Battlecry, restore 3 health. If it's a minion, give it +1/+1. Another card that's super clean, very easy to understand. Flavor makes sense. It could have been in classic for sure. That's probably makes sense. 4 mana, 3/5, restore 3 health is good. +1/+1. Probably be a core card. That's what it would be. Wouldn't be a classic card. Be a core card. I'll clean up my browser just so or my desktop. So what are we comparing this to? Just Power Crypt Ithering? It's like, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Again, it's 1 mana difference though. People really underestimate the difference of 1 mana. It's fine. I don't think it's better than this card. I think this card's cooler. We're moving on. Fugitive Fish. 1 mana, 1/1 for Paladin Rogue. Common Beast. Divine Shield. After this minion loses Divine Shield, gain Stealth. Tough card, man. Like it's really interesting. Fugitive Fish. After this minion loses Divine Shield, gain Stealth. It's very good. Very good card. It might be too broken, to be honest with you. It's really good. It's really good, man. It should be a rare. It should be a rare. Yeah, common seems a little. I guess the only I think it's very good because you would play this card, you could buff it, it loses Divine Shield, and then it has Stealth, and then you can decide to do what you want with after. Like it could be a very powerful effect, but it's really cool. It dies to the captain. I can see this being a rare, maybe an epic, but not a common. This is a common card. What happens if it gains shield again? It'd probably just gain Stealth again, yeah. So if you give it Divine Shield again, damn, this card could be nutty. There was no Paladin plus Rogue dual class cards from Skullmance, right? If I remember correctly. Ugh. It fits really nicely into Sunken City too. All right, chat, is it worth a pull? I gotta move on. Is it worth a pull here? I think this card's still better. I like this card a lot. I think this is gonna take a while for it to actually lose. The balancing act here is gonna be rough for this card. I think that's the bigger problem here. Comments are fine again. You can open them. All right. Nah. No chance. No one. Paladin never worked together with Rogue, so it's like a flavor issue too, right? Okay, I'm gonna trust you guys. General Sylvanas. 7 mana 5/5 for Hunter. I think I've seen this card before. 7 mana 5/5 for Hunter. Legendary. Battlecry, destroy a minion. Corrupt. Take control of it instead. That's what the corrupted version looks like. Sylvanas makes sense in Hunter. It seems like a card we've seen in Hearthstone before, right? The only difference is like it's corrupt versus infused. Is the only big difference. It's the same idea. I'm just gonna pass, but it's funny. It's like the same card. Arcane Barrier, 3-mana mage spell, rare. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Gain that much armor. God, I love this card. Actually, I love this card so much. Oh man, this is so good. What a great design. It's a card that like inherently is not that strong, right? It's not inherently broken, but it could be so good depending on what you pair this with. It's also very dependent on how many minions your opponent has. There's a lot of back and forth with this card, and it makes it so special. It's another AoE with mage, makes total sense. It's just strictly one of the best design cards we've seen. It's just fantastic. What a great card. 7 armor for 3 mana. Dude, think about how often at turn 3 or something your opponent's gonna have that, right? It should say like gain. No, I think the wording's probably fine. Really cool card, man. Really well done card. It's so, cards like this is so interesting because it's not inherently broken on its own. It needs to be paired with something, and you're gonna build around this card. You're gonna put it into a controlled archetype. Love this card. Love this card. It's so dependent on the metagame. It's a card you think about when you put it into your deck. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Hey, yeah, this guy made this card. This card's actually a little broken, I think, for 2 mana for Druid. It doesn't fit. Like, this is a good example for Druid, I think, right? Like, flavor wise, like other than swipe, this feels really, I mean, actually Druid has a couple AoEs. They haven't printed them recently though. It feels like Druid hasn't really had an AoE. So spell damage makes this super strong. Dude, guys, if I'm playing this with spell, chat, you guys are absolutely ridiculous. This is why I'm glad none of you are designers. If I have to pair a card with this to make this card like good, then it's fine. It's 2 cards for getting you armor and an AoE, right? Like, I think that's completely fair. It doesn't feel broken. There are cards that just do this better, but you can make this a better card. You design this card is so good because you want to design your deck with this card. It's not something you want to just randomly discover. It's awesome. Awesome. Really, really well designed card, man. I love it. I think it's great. Alabaster Mine here should be very feel very good about this card. All right. No. 1, 2. Okay, remember this is 1. You're basing this off balance, design, or sorry, balance, flavor, and is it fun to play with? I think it's great, man. Flavor, it makes total sense too, right? Defensively, it makes sense with mage. They have AoEs. I like this card, man. I hope it gets printed. It'd be cool to have this card in the game. Both of these are good. Arcane Barrier is broken with any spell. Guys, you guys are insane. Oh my god. It's not broken at all. It's not. I think a lot of players overvalue armor and healing. I would agree. Only issue of it being arcane and not frost. That's fair. I guess the theory is that you're using the arcane shield as protection rather than like getting a frost shield. Can I have a board clear that's also Reno? Guys, you do realize that there has been cards in the game that have been arguably better than this. You realize that, right? There was a card for Mage that was 1 mana. Whenever you cast a spell, like gain that much armor of equal to its mana cost. It was 1 mana. And you didn't even need your opponent to have any minions on the board. You guys are acting like this is broken. Like it literally, it could do nothing. Like your opponent could have no minions on the side of their board. Therefore, this card is just 3 mana, do nothing. It's not broken, man. You guys are crazy. All right, this is the new winner. All right. Standing Fountain. If you're holding a nature spell, walk. 7 of 4/8 elemental. If you're holding a nature spell, walk. What? Walk? I understand why it's doing this. I think it's very funny. Bad wording. It's bad wording. I get what they're going for. Yeah. Walk doesn't make any sense. I'm guessing that like it would just turn into this. It should say if you're holding a nature spell, become a walking fountain, not a standing fountain. Not it shouldn't just say walk. Meh. I would honestly think that this would be good with taunt as well. Like, I feel like this card on its own wouldn't see play. It kind of needs taunt. I'm gonna move on. Cool card, but I don't think it's better than Arcane Barrier there. Goblin Mine. 1 mana, 1/2. Warlock. Mr. Minion. Common for Darkmoon Fair. Battle cry. Return your hand. Wait, return your hand the next card you discard. Return to your hand the next card you discard. God, I love this card. I don't know why it's a mime though. Return to your hand the next card you discard. The next card, it should say the next card you discard, return it to your hand. Something like that. Goblin Mime nuts. Nice, nice. Why is it a mime though? Does anyone have any idea what the flavor of this card is? Because maybe I'm not understanding it. It's a mime because it's pretending that to have discarded your card. Ah, see that. I'm really glad I asked chat. See, I would really glad I asked chat for that one. Good card, man. Really well done. Another banger here, man. To be honest, this is sick. This is like someone who really likes Warlock. This is a card I would dream to have in the game. Probably a little too good, depending. It should be maybe 2 mana, but I think at 1 mana, I think it would be okay. Wild is a different story, but it's really cool. It's really well done. I like it. All right. I think it's a banger, chat. Flavor makes sense. Perfect for Warlock. I think it's pretty balanced. Fits into an archetype that needs help. I love it. This is a card I think is absolutely necessary. All right, chat, vote. This is tough. We're getting to the point where like a lot of these cards are going to be insane. It's really good. It fits the Darkmoon Fair expansion too, if we're counting that. It might be like a rare, maybe not, maybe an epic. I don't know about a common. Common's a little weird, but I'll look past the gem here because I think it's so well made. So clean. I think the balance is pretty spot on too. It's tough to really think like what card would be discarded, right? You'd have to pair it. It reminds me, like I love cards like this because you think about your deck when you're building it, right? It's not just like, here's good cards, let me put them in. It's like, is this card worth running because I need to get the card back that I might discard? And I think that's really cool. Would have different results if we start from the top. Yeah, that's why we started like this, right? It's like a bad version of Cobalt Librarian. They serve different purposes completely. Issue with the design, it's a battle cry that doesn't actually do anything on its battle cry. Well, it does. It does. There would have to be like some kind of animation cue. It fits, like you're not gonna, you could play this on turn, like there's so many use cases for this card. I think it's just so well designed. Like you could put this on turn 1 because you're gonna discard a card next turn, and therefore you just make that card not as bad, because discarding in Hearthstone feels miserable because you can't pick the card you want to discard. What happens if you discard multiple cards at once? It'd probably pick the leftmost card in your hand. I love it. I love it, chat. And it seems like you guys agree. All right, Severed Arm, 3 mana, 4/1, epic warrior weapon. Honorable kill, equip a Severed Arm, set its attack equal to the minions. Oh my God, this card is phenomenal. Oh my God, that's so good. It's so good. Oh man. Wow, I went through all that effort with the mime card just to see this one next. This is so, it's so flavorful, dude. It's so good. Wow, I love this card. This card is kind of violent, isn't it? No, I think it's fine. I love this card, man. It fits the Alterac Valley theme a lot, right? Because there was like a war going on. Cool. Really like the flavor of this card. Kind of bad. 3 mana 4/1 for a weapon is arguably pretty trash. But if you do get that honorable kill, it's spicy. It's spicy. It's probably too weak. It's the flavor behind it. Well, you get a Severed Arm to be your weapon, and then if you honorably kill your next person, that means you probably wouldn't kill their arm. You wouldn't break their arm off or anything, right? So you could take another arm if you wanted it. Feels weak though. It's very weak. It's hard. It's hard to make this card good, but I think that's potentially the point, right? Is you don't want it to be too good. And it would make sense it only has 1 durability because you probably only hit it once with the arm. I think it's fine. I don't know if it's worth a vote per se, but I think the flavor of this card is absolutely incredible. Like I think it's so interesting. Is it honorable to take your opponent? That's a more ethical question there, chat. It's a more ethical question. I'm gonna move on, but I really like it. We're gonna skip this. Mafar. Oh my God. Why is it in quotations? Oh, it's for Fawn backwards. 9 mana 7/8 battle cry. Discover the true identity of Mafar. Death Rattle, reveal it. So you can become the Fire Lord. Deal 8 damage to 3 random enemies. All right. You become the Lich King. Equip Frostborn. Gain 5 armor. Summon a 5/4 ghoul. You become Rafam. Add all 3 powerful artifacts to your hand, which is these are the artifacts that cost 3. This card wouldn't see play. This wouldn't see play. There's too much. There's too much here. Mafar. I'm gonna move on. I'm surprised that's so highly upvoted. Storm Strain, 3 mana shaman spell, rare, nature, to draw 2 cards. If you have overloaded mana crystals, draw 1 more. Whoa! Damn. Damn. Gosh, you're killing it, man. This is a cool card. Shaman with this a card would become pretty great. Like, this is a card I think they're missing. It's Arcane Intellect with a bonus effect, which might be a little bit of an issue for a Shaman, because I feel like they don't want to print draw for Shaman too liberally. But man, it should almost be draw 1 card. If you have overloaded mana crystals, draw 2 more. Like, I feel like that would be the better that would be the better point. Just so it's not just you put this in every single deck because it's 3 mana draw 2. Like, you would have to kind of build around it a little bit more. That being said, I really like it. I think the flavor's there. Like this, the way that this card is like worded, especially because it's nature, it would be ran in every shaman deck. Like, this would be a must play card. Like, it would be auto draw. Like, you auto include this in your deck. It's just in a vacuum way too powerful. But it could just be like draw 1 if you have an overloaded mana crystal, draw 2 more, because then it's like you're paying the mana previously to have such a powerful effect. And I think that's much better. I love it, man. It's another card where you sit here and you're like, damn, like this could be in the game. And I think because of that, this deserves a vote. Would you auto include it? The thing is that Shaman doesn't have the same draw as Mage does, which is why I think in Shaman, this card would be ran in every single deck, because Shaman's draw sucks donkey. It sucks donkey. So if you change the wording here, you at least have the deck building exercise. But the idea is there and it makes sense. It works really nicely with Shaman. I love it. I think it's really well done. The cards today have been so much more interesting than the cards yesterday. All right, chat. 1, 2, 1, 2. Design, flavor. Sorry, you're basing this off flavor, balance, and is it fun to have in the game? I just like this card. I think it's so interesting. I feel like the overload mechanic is used so little these days. Like, not little, like they did the whole quest line thing, but it feels like something they just tag on. I like it. It'd have to be reworded though. I honestly feel like because it has to be reworded, I have to give it to this. I have to give it to Goblin Mime. Like, this card as is too broken. It's too good. This card I think is actually just like too well designed for it to compare to this. Chat, I'm gonna veto this. I'm vetoing this. It's too good. It's just too good at what it is. 3 mana 5/2 Druid Legendary Keeper Remulus. Rush, Death Rattle. Your next choose 1 spell has the 3rd option to summon Remulus. Sorry, gotcha. It's too good. It's too good. This is kind of nuts. Three mana 5/2 Rush. You're killing a minion 1-for-1 guaranteed. But the thing is that you almost never choose this card from choose ones unless it's like very late in the game. Like, I feel like I would always want like if I like, for instance, if I'm picking between Nourish, like I'm not picking this card like ever. You would only pick it if it's like super late in the game, and that kind of gives this card a little bit more credit if I'm being honest. Because it's very interesting. It makes you think about what you actually need. I think it's good as a 3 mana 5/2 with Rush. Like in Druid, I think that's fine. But It's not for nerds, just for cheap ones, choose ones. Yeah, but like, that's the thing, right? Are you gonna put this into your deck? I guess you would, right? You'd put this into like an aggro deck maybe then? Okay, you know what? That's fine. I could get behind the flavor. It's a druid thing to do. I really like cards like this that make you think like, hey, like, do I actually need the 5-2 now? Or can I have it? Can I have a different card? It might be a little too toxic though, man. Like constant 5-2s, but then you have to, why is this starting an update? Warzone, what the hell? Get that. Yes. But it have to be a 4-2. But I think Final Design can figure that out before it's gone. It's a cool card, really cool card. All right, sure. We'll do a poll. Okay, go ahead, chat. 1, 2, it's based on balance, flavor, and would you want this in the game? Would it be fun to play with in the game? While you guys do this, I'm gonna go to the washroom real fast. I really gotta go. All right. Two. All right. Sure. Okay, cool. All right. Rarran, 5-mana 5/6 neutral legendary. This can only be used in a friendly challenge. Okay. Obviously, this one's not going to be really rated, but I would love this in the game. I think this would be fun. But yeah, okay. Your mother. 5-mana 10/10. This minion takes up the whole one. You know, I've seen this card so much, but it makes me laugh every single time I see it. And honestly, if it didn't have your mother at the top, I actually think this card would be like one of the more interesting cards they could put into the game. As funny as it is, right? Like, how interesting would it be to have a minion that takes up every single slot on the board and has just an absurd stat line like this? 5-mana 10/10, that's pretty great. It would have to be updated with like the colossal stuff that came out for Voyage and the Sunken City. I realize the joke, chat. Your mother is a Murloc, but this card would never get printed like this. All right, it would never be printed like this. There are 1,000 mama jokes. Mama's so fat, the corpse kind of breaks after she dies. I don't care what the stream decides. This is officially the best card of the site. True. Your mom is so fat, Altanathrius pigs hit her. That's your mom has Mana Thirst 21. Your mom is so fat she needs 4 runes to be played. Oh my god. That's all right. Well, we're not gonna stay here the whole day. That's funny as hell though. What are these stats at the beginning? I don't know. I feel like if you had this on the board, it would just summon like 6 dormant things, like appendages off of her, just showing like how big this minion is, right? Like you'd have to kill your mother. Like unironically, man, I know I understand what the flavor is. I understand what they're going for, but I actually think this card is really well designed. I think it's funny. I think it really makes a lot of sense. The only real question that has to be decided is, can you play this card if you have another minion on board? Because if you can, it's broken. Like it'd have to say this minion can only be played if there are, this minion can only be played if there are no other minions on board or something. Takes up your whole board, yeah. It just will never be printed. It's a cool design. I'll have to, one of these days we'll just have to go through all the objects. I'm gonna pass it. I think it's funny though. The Laziest Peon, 2-mana 1/1, neutral legendary, battle cry, upgrade your hero power a bit. I'm too lazy to fully upgrade. You got 1 more armor. Summon a 1/1, summon a random totem with +1 health. Equip a dagger, 50% chance just to get a 1 attack. You don't ever want this design, and just make it a 1/3. 1/3 is fine. 2/1 silver hair carrots. Maybe 1/2's better, but sure, this is fine. Life tap, that's fine. No, you don't ever want this. It fits into the theme of mage, but man, like you don't want cards like this where you don't know. Like we've learned from goblins versus gnomes that you don't want cards that have a random effect before you cast it. Like if the effect is random inherently, like Yogbox, it's fine, but you would like to have some agency on what this card does. So you would never print a card like this ever again. Same with the rogue one. Like you wouldn't want that. You would just give it a 1/3. Not sure how you would do this. Maybe you just make this cost 1. Maybe that's the safer bet. But you don't want this card to ever be like that. This is fine. Again, same idea. You don't want this. I don't know how you make this better. 0 cost for Demon Claw seems a little broken, so it'd be rough. Maybe 2 cost is fine, but I think that's actually broken. Again, don't want that. If your hero is already better, this upgrades a bit. All right, so then, okay. I mean, I'm gonna just have to veto this card specifically for that whole randomness thing. It's not, you don't ever, like, they learn very, 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 very carefully. 2-mana 3 attack is broken. It's broken in Demon. It'll be broken. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on. You can, like, I can't emphasize this enough that this kind of effect it's too scary. There's probably ways to fix it, but we're not here to fix it. I'm not one of those house shows, you know what I mean? We're here to rate the best custom card, and we're almost done. God, I gotta go faster. Oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna do this forever. 3-mana 2/2 Chest Familiar. When you discover this card, 2-mana 2/2 neutral minion Chest Familiar. Epic. When you discover a card, destroy this and keep all 3. Actually, Rarran. Hold on, I gotta read this. Actually, Rarran, I made you a trivia card at one point. If you want to check it out, search for Rarran Card Trickster in the gallery. All right, I'm gonna look it up. There's 2 here. This is the one he made. Mana 1/1 legendary. Look at the card. Battle card. Look at the card in your deck and get 2 fake copies of it. Guess which one is real to draw it. This is sick, dude. It's cool. Depending on how they would do this in the game, I think this would make actually for a very fun card. It doesn't seem broken. I think it'd actually be pretty fun. 1 mana to draw a card, but you get to have that fun little mini game. Cool. It's cool. I like it, man. Thanks. Sorry, back to this card. 2-minute 2/2. Whenever you discover a card, destroy this and keep all 3. Okay, so the problem with Chest Familiar, unfortunately, is this card only works if you're discovering cards to put into your hand, right? Because if you're doing one of those cards that like you discover to summon a minion or something, this doesn't make any more sense. It kind of loses the idea of it. Because it would be too broken. All right, shipping myself back, right? I did. If we're talking specifically about like discovering cards that go into your hand, I love it. Look at the definition, discover. Yeah, but there. Did you just really write down the chat? The wording here doesn't make any sense. Should we pick all 3? That's probably the way you want to do it. That's probably what you want to do. Pick all 3 makes more sense. Read the comments. What am I reading for? Isn't Arcanist in the chat? It's hard to me to watch you on YouTube live when there are so many videos already added on the right. I'm sorry, Diamond. Doesn't seem to be a huge issue though for most people. All the way down, bro. To work with this, the card has to specify discover in its text, and the card also has to add it to your hand. That's, dude, I think that's completely fair, right? Okay, so the Wax Mancy would give you 3 discounted battle cries, and the Chromatic Egg would give you those trickle effects because it doesn't in your hand. At least see, like the fact that you have to clarify this though is a problem. The fact that you have to clarify that is a problem, because inherently it just doesn't make any sense when you read this card. It's very unintuitive, is the way I would say it. Which, again, if it was like if Discover in the game was only cards that get added to your hand, this is a phenomenal design card. It's phenomenally designed. I love this card, but unfortunately, based on how it's worded, it wouldn't make sense in the current Hearthstone. So unfortunately, I can't let it slide. We gotta move on. City Wall Elemental. 7 to 5/5 rare elemental minion for warrior. Taunt costs 1 less for each top minion you've summoned this game. The card literally doesn't work that way. It works the way that it is in the description because of how the game is coded. You can add a bunch of other requirements. I don't understand what you're saying. What are you talking about? The way I literally, that comment, Nick, doesn't make any sense. The problem with this card is that there are cards that literally make this card counterintuitive, like in the game, in Hearthstone themselves. Because if a discover card says discover a dragon and put it into play, how do I get it in my hand? How do I keep all 3? It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, back to this card. Taunt costs 1 less for each taunt minion you've summoned this game. I'm not blaming that, by the way. Oh, sorry. Okay, next. Sorry, my apologies. I'm not blaming Arcanist, by the way, man. I'm not blaming him. I legitimately think he's really well. Like, a lot of his cards are in this game. A lot of his cards make it to the top, and he deserves it because he's really smart in how he designs his cards. But unfortunately for him, this card just wouldn't work in Hearthstone. And if I'm looking at what we think is the best design card in Hearthstone, this doesn't fly. It just doesn't fly. It would never be printed. And if a card would never be printed in Hearthstone, it just can't be the best custom card. It just can't be. All right, sorry. City Wall Elemental. 7 to 5/5 warrior minion, rare. Taunt costs 1 less for each taunt minion you've summoned this game. Little slow, unfortunately. Very slow, I should say, actually. But it is summoned. There's a lot of ways to make this cost 0 mana. Wallimental. It's a weird word, but I understand what the point is. In the dungeon, I go deeper. It's a little worse than that. It's a lot worse than that, actually. But there are cards to make this 0 mana 5/5. And to be fair, I do think the card is actually really well designed. I think if it costs 2 less for each minion, it might be a little broken. The question is how good or how impact, like how early can you get this down? Probably, I want to say turn 4, turn 5. In current Hearthstone, that's probably fine. It's probably okay. It's pretty nice, actually, man. I think it's good. You could make this probably 6 mana. You could even make it potentially 5, depending on how great taunts are at the moment. But I do think it's fine. We'll do a poll for this one. I think it deserves it. All right, you're basing this off flavor, balance, and would it be fun in Hearthstone? Flavor is fine. Makes total sense what the flavor of this card is. Fits in the warrior theme. I like it. Cool card. Is summoned spelled like that? You've summoned this game? It should just be summoned, by the way. Should be summoned. All right, you guys like the Goblin Mine? I think the Goblin Mine's really good. Just think of a low reskin. That's what Blizzard do. It's not the exact same. It's a lot different. Good synergy with me and the boys. All right, we're staying with mine. Najatar Tide Spirit, 2 mana 2/3 battle cry dredge. Sorry, I read cards differently every time. Let me try to be consistent here. Najatar Tide Spirit, 2 mana 2/3 elemental common minion for druid. Battle cry dredge a spell. If it's nature, restore 5 health to your hero. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So clean, so elegantly designed. I could see this card in Hearthstone right now. Fits druid. The only question is, actually, what if it druid? If this was a shaman card, it'd be fine. Dredge a spell. So it should read dredge if it's a nature spell. Right? Because you guys are right. Dredge a spell is a little awkward to read. It should say dredge if it's a nature spell, restore 5 health to your hero. That's what it should say. Sorry, that's the way I read it in my brain. It should be a shaman card though. I think it's a little bit of a flavor miss. Just fits shaman, I think, a little bit more. This card doesn't even work. How can it be good? All right, we'll move on. I like that. I like that. I will say this though. If it was shaman and it just said dredge and the proper text, this card would be insane. Condense mage and shaman 3 mana spell, 3 mana epic spell. Freeze a minion, keep it frozen while you have overloaded mana crystals. Overload 1. It's super weak. It's really weak. The thing is that there are no other mage cards in the game besides this one though that would give you overload, right? It shouldn't be dual class. I could see this as shaman. Freeze a minion, keep it frozen while you have overloaded mana crystals. I think that's fine. But even then, it's absolute trash. Like this card wouldn't see play, right? It would. It's just so bad. It'd have to be like 2 mana. And it also, I honestly think that this type of effect would be super, super lame to play against. Like it'd be pretty miserable to play against, right? I'm surprised. This is actually really surprising why it's so high up. I'm moving on. I like it. Hosen Brewmaster, 3 mana 3/4 neutral minion rare. Battlecry, if your hero is at full health, draw 2 cards. Love this card. Hey Rarran, any chance you check out custom expansions one day? If so, mine is #1 custom expansion on the site. You'll see in the top 5. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I can think of a title for it. We'll see. Rating on the site's pretty arbitrary, is it? I love this card. I actually think I think it's amazing. It fits in aggro. But God, if you take 1 point of damage, you're cheesed. Like, you're so upset. You never run a 3-mana 3/4 do nothing. God. What a crazy card. It's really bad against some classes. This card is like, again, this is a very specific meta design card. You wouldn't run this card in very specific meta games, but you can maybe get away with it in other ones. So it's very feast or famine. Kind of reminds me of like Spider Tank, not Spider Tank, the Rusttrot Viper. Like if you have minion, if your opponent has a weapon, this is like, it's fire, right? But if it doesn't, it's like, might be too restrictive. I like the design though. I feel like if your heroes at full health could be a place that they could explore a little bit more, right? And it works really nicely with decks or classes that could heal and get armor. So I kind of like it, but I can see the point of like, it's very, very feast or famine. So would a card like this see play? Would it be fun to play against? A lot of the times it's going to feel really bad to hold in your hand, right? Because you're running a 3-mana 3/4. That tradable, maybe a fed tradable. Not really sure what the flavor of this card is either, right? I really like the effect, but the flavors doesn't speak to me at all. I'm gonna move on, chat. I'm moving on. What the hell is this? Why is this rated so high? Yeah, what the hell? Okay. This is just in the game. Come on. It's a brawl. We've gone through a lot of cards this stream, by the way. This has been a freaking toss up, bro. Seraph Della. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. 3-mana 3/3 Battlecry. Spend the rest of your mana. Take control of an enemy minion that cost less. That cost or less. I'm very surprised this is so highly rated. Can only get a 7-mana at most. Yeah, but it's not like... It's very versatile. Like, it's flexible. It's kind of interesting. I don't understand the flavor necessarily, but I also just don't know who this character is. So, and it fits in the priest theme. Priest often takes your minions. So I could see it being played in priest. It's a legendary effect, so it makes total sense it's a legendary thing. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if they would ever print a card like this. That's my biggest concern here. It almost feels too good. Actually, no, it feels, I don't know. Again, this is a very feast or famine card, right? Variance of this card is insane. But at most, what, you're taking like a 7-mana card? That's probably fine. Also, it doesn't say if it's random or not, right? What if there are multiple minions that you could take control of? It won't see play. It would never get printed in this late. It'd have to, you'd have to word it so differently here. Battlecry, spend the rest of your mana, gain control of an enemy, of a random enemy minion of the same cost or less. I think it's choose. If it's choose, it's awful. Like it doesn't feel like a card you would want in the game. It's just mind control on a minion with a 3/3. I don't think it's ever going to see play. Even if you get to choose it, it's not random. It's like, why not just run mind control at that point? It probably would never get printed. Grim the Soul Vendor, 1-mana 1/3 legendary minion for Demon Hunter. Your leftmost card is tradable. I don't understand the flavor of this card at all. 1-mana 1/3, this card wouldn't see play. Is it sick with Outcast? No, it's not. With the quest allows Outcast. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, sure. It allows Outcast, but is it good? Like, I feel like it's awful. Awful in the sense that you would hate to play again. I would hate to have this in the game. It's so broken. It's so broken. I'd hate to have this in the game. Your hand's bad, you trade it. If you need to get to an Outcast position in your hand, you play this card. It's 1 mana. I'd hate to have this in the game. I really would. It's kind of like Finley. It's better than Finley. It's way better than Finley. It has to be like 2 mana. 2 mana, 3 mana. 1 mana is too easy. It's actually insane. Goblins are Demon Hunter lore wise. Okay, you can just change the art though. I think that's fine. How's it broken? It's broken in the sense that not only can you rearrange your hand, which is one of the which is a very powerful effect in Hearthstone, especially if you have an Outcast card, but it's infinite card draw, and you can get Outcast position, which makes it extremely scary to leave this on board. Like, you're manipulating your hand too easily. This limits design so much. Because you every time they make an Outcast card now, or every time they make an Outcast card now, you have to be like, okay, like, is it gonna break the game with this card? Like, remember that trading actually costs mana? Yeah, I don't think that's a problem though, is it? What is the worst case? Like, the worst case scenario with this card is that you're just drawing your whole hand for as many cards as you want. So if I'm constantly trading my hand, it's 1 mana to cycle a card. That's pretty great. That's already fine. A lot of classes would play that because it turns out if your hand is bad and you could just spend 1 mana at a time to cycle your hand, it's pretty great. On top of that, you're getting the benefit of the benefit of Outcast with Demon Hunter, which is already a pretty spooky mechanic. On top of that, this is a must kill card for 1 mana. Even if I play this on turn 1, it's fine. It also makes drawing cards better. This card limits design, I think, too much. So I think that's the bigger problem. This card would never be printed. I mean, I just can't see it ever being printed. It's too good. It's too annoying. It needs to be like 2. It needs to be at least 2 mana. This effect is too powerful. It's too good. What about making a battle cry? 1 mana battle cry might be a little bit better. It's safer, but there's just too much scary cards, man. Like, I don't know. Like, again, I think the bigger problem about this is it limits design too much, and they have to be very careful every time they make an Outcast card. Harder than most politicians. Well, this is why you don't take your first, like, you don't look at a card first glance and be like, that's it, right? You think about it a little bit more. Like, the more I think about the card, the more I don't like it. And I don't think it's very fun to play against. Also, it'd be so miserable just from like playing in the game to watch my opponent trade cards their whole turn. Like, what are we doing here? Is that a Hearthstone turn? I'm moving on. It would never get printed. Three mana, add 5 imps to your hand. Any that can't finish summoned. What the hell? All right, so this card's Wicked Shaman's in the game, isn't it? Add 5/1/1 imps to your hand. Any that can't finish summon with 2/1. It was an attempt to predict it. All right, we're gonna move on. Move on. Sorry, I gotta speed up a little bit. We're still have so many more cards. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Lichboard Knight, 3 mana, 3/3 rush death rattle. Summon 1/1 copies of all minions killed by this neutral rare minion. This is cool. Should be an epic. I agree with that. Very scary card. Very scary card. They would probably give this to Death Knight, like nowadays, right? They would just give it to Death Knight. This wouldn't be a neutral card anymore. It's kind of funny though. I don't know. I kind of like it. The more I look at it, it's good. It would be a Death Knight card for sure, though. It wouldn't be a neutral card anymore, but I'm just going to rate it as what it is here. Flavor-wise, it's fine. Tiny Lich King. You could see it in the art, too. It's cool. Summon 1/1 copies of all minions killed by this. How likely... Like, there's a good chance... There's a good chance that this doesn't kill anything. But in the particular instance that you can get a good trade-off, it's pretty great. But I feel like it's slow. Why would you run this? This would be a Battlegrounds card. That's a good way of putting this. I think it would need a buff. Current Hearthstone would need a buff. Night and Storm, this card's unplayable. Wouldn't see any play. But it's a cool card. It's a little weak. But the flavor's there for sure. The flavor is 100% there. Warrior can abuse it? How could Warrior abuse it? I think it's weak. It's very weak. I feel like it'd have to be like a 3 mana 4/1. It's cool, man. But I'm gonna move on. I don't think it's that interesting compared to some of them we've seen. All right, I've seen this card before, but this card's amazing. All right, this is really well done. Molecular Farseer for Shaman, 1 mana 1/3 rare elemental. Battle Cry. If you play an elemental next turn, draw a card. Fits right into Shaman's theme. Fits right into the elemental package. Very balanced. It's a 1 mana 1/3 elemental, which we've seen in the game before. But on top of that, if you get the advantage of playing an elemental next turn, you draw a card, so it replaces itself. Very clean. Elegant design. Did I say last turn? Sorry, I meant next turn. If you play an elemental next turn, draw a card. They would obviously change the art a little bit. But I like this. Like, it's a card that doesn't get any more stat buffs, and we've seen the 1 mana 1/3 like gets like +1 attack for each elemental you played or something, right? I like this card, man, because it's a it fits so the flavor of this card fits so nicely because it's Farseer, right? Like you're thinking into the future. It's not you're thinking into the past, which makes it so interesting. Not sure why it's molecular, to be fair, but I love the design. I love the text on this card, and I think it's worthy of a vote. How do you remind the player next turn of the effects going on? I mean, at some point, right? At some point, I feel like this is pretty obvious if you're playing the card yourself. Do a poll. been a while since we've done a poll. This mime has been killing it. All right. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Chat, I gotta hurry this up, bro. I gotta go eat food. You're basing this off design, sorry, the flavor, balance, and it would be fun to have in Hearthstone. Problem with Goblin Mine is what happens with the cards that you've already turned to your hand after discarded, like the Warlock 2-2 Legendary. You'd probably just get another copy of it. All right. Looks like it's gonna be the Farseer card. 1 mana 1 draw 3 that never gets printed. It's dude, you guys can't look at this as 1 mana 1 draw 3 or draw 1. 1 mana 1 3 draw 1 when there's a prerequisite in order for you to get the draw 1. It's not as simple as, hey, this card is this. It's not as simple. There's a prerequisite for it. You have to obviously build a deck, your deck around it. And I think it's completely fine. This would, I don't think this would be broken at all in current Hearthstone. I think it'd be fine. Wow, I can't believe the mime actually got taken over. I think I seem to be the problem with chat is you guys immediately see a card and think it's broken because it looks very good. You got to think a little deeper. A little deeper, chat, a little deeper. It's not face value, right? You got to think a little deeper. Would it be broken? I don't think so. All right. Emperor Mukla. 5 mana 5/5 neutral legendary beast. Battle card for the rest of your game. Your bananas give minions +5/+5. He forgot the second plus, but it's fine. Trash. This card's trash. Wouldn't see play at all. You'd have to see. It's funny that. It's funny how weak this is. It would need to add a banana to your hand. Like it'd have to be like add a banana for your hand, or battle cry, add a banana for your hand. The rest of your game, your bananas give your minions +5/+5. The whole set's about bananas. Will this be good? See, the problem with this card again is we saw this before with that dragon card. Is if you don't draw this on turn 5, like if you don't draw this early enough. It's really scary. Now, the problem with this card is also just the design, which is you get 1 mana +5/+5s. That limits the design of every single charge card in the game. And that is horrible to have in the game. This would not see play. This wouldn't get printed. It's too gross. It's too scary. It's a very spooky card. Very spooky card. But on average, it's horrible. But you can make this into a card that's very scary, potentially, for... depending on how great the banana cards are in the format. This card wouldn't see play. It'd be too good. It'd be too good or too bad. There's no in between. Coral Armorsmith, 3 mana 3/4 warrior rare Naga. Battlecry, gain 2 armor for each spell you've cast while holding this. I love this card. What the hell? This is great. Damn, dude. Wow. All right, I'm just gonna listen, guys. This is amazing. This is okay. We're comparing this. We're comparing this. We're comparing this. We're comparing this. I don't even need to go through this. This is just phenomenal. It's a very, very good card. Wow. Like in terms of flavor, it makes total sense. It fits the warrior theme. It looks like a Naga that would give you protection, which is great. It has the spell vibe with the Naga. 3 mana 3/4, not a great stat line, but the fact that it could potentially give you a ton of armor is great. How much armor does this need to give you for you to play it? Probably like, or how many spells do you need to play? Probably 3 or 4, and I think this card would be very good. This is 1, this is 2. I love this. I'm really surprised this card was not printed. Maybe it was too broken. All right, we got a new boy. Is it worse because you have to have it in hand and also cast spells? I think it's fine. I think overall this card is really well designed. It has the potential to be so good, but at the same point, it's like it makes you think about your deck. Can you draw the Naga fast enough? I love it. I think it's great. I love it. I think it's really well done. All right. Boom Squid. 2-mana 2/3 beast rare minion for warrior. Battlecry Dredge. If it's a mech, attach it to a boombot. Attach a boombot to it. Dredge. If it's a mech, attach a boombot to it. Dude, man, I like the effect a lot, but getting a boombot that early on could be very bad for the game. So what does it mean to attach? I guess like you with the battle cry, when the card is played, you just play a boombot with it, or you get the boombot in your hand. Not to be confused with Boom Squad. Like magnetize, give it +1/+1 the death right. Okay. So if you dredge this card, you dredge the mech, and the mech gets +1/+1, and the death rattle to summon a boombot. Man, that's a really well designed card, to be honest. I was thinking about, man, I don't know if boombots that early on would be good for the game, but then you have that bomb lady, I forgot what her name was, from Galakrond's Awakening, and she was probably fine. It might be too good though. Picking your next draw, getting you get a 2/3 as well, and you get a best plus, then you get +1/+1 and the boombot. Yeah, Bomb Wrangler. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. It's a cool card though, man. I like the flavor of it too. Boom Squid. It like attaches to the boombot. I think it's fine. I think it's pretty balanced. It's fine. I like it. I like it. All right, chat. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. All right. Vote. I think it's fine. I don't know about the flavor necessarily, but okay, I'll let the flavor slide a little bit for this one because I think it's a well designed card. I like the fact that it has multiple tribes. It's cool. It fits in the menagerie package for warrior. I don't know if it would be print, like, my biggest thing is like, would this be printed? I think this would be printed. I'm pretty confident this would be printed, but I do think it's a really it's an interesting card. It's cool. Fits Voyage too. All right, chat. I'm gonna end the voting pretty fast because I gotta go. I got things to do. All right, we're sticking with the Coral Armor Smith. Loner Student, 3-mana 3/3 Rogue Demon Hunter Common Minion, combo or outcast, deal 1 damage, combo and outcast, deal 3 instead. Okay, I think the problem with this card is the wording of it. Because combo and outcast, that means if you combo and outcast, this does 3 instead. That's so, but like, or combo or outcast is fine because it kind of makes sense. it just, again, the problem with this card is it just wouldn't see print. Like they wouldn't print a card like this. Combo or Outcast just reads too awkwardly, right? Also, why does Demon Hunter have combo? The flavor's a little off here. I'm moving on. It's never gonna get printed. Oh my God. All right, this is the actual last real card here, chat. We've gone through, I think, at least like 70 today, if I'm gonna be real. This is it. Will Coral Armorsmith be our #1? Rarran, you're still hot. Thank you. Thank you, Rarran Poggers. I appreciate it. 3 mana Alchemist Recipe Nature Spell for Hunter. Discover 2 secrets. Cast a secret with the condition of the first one and the effect of the second one. Whenever secret when an enemy minion attacks, summon an animal companion. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. The initial wording is a little bit weird. It just say something like create a putricide secret. It shouldn't read the way it does. Just say create a putricide secret. And then the first discover is like when an enemy minion attacks or when an enemy minion hits your face, whatever. And then it's the condition. I like the idea of setting conditions for secrets though. It's very intriguing. It's an effect that it's a design space they haven't showed us yet. I didn't ask, print this already? Do you keep the discovered secrets? It seems like it, yeah. So in that case, actually, right? It would say discover 2 secrets, create and cast the putricide secret. Some of the secret combinations would get a little weird, but some of them would be really cool. I could see why this is upvoted so high. I can really see it. Is it worth it when it costs 1 more than an actual? Well, yeah, you're getting 2. Like, you got to remember, you're getting 2 secrets on top of casting this in play. So I think the cost is actually very, very fine. I'm not sure about nature. And they would also have to consider what secrets they print with this card out. But honestly, this would be a pretty fun card to have in the game. Are you getting the 2? You are getting the 2 secrets. If it says discover 2 secrets, you would think that you get them in your hand, right? Doesn't seem to work like freezing trap. You're only getting the reward of 1 secret though. No, guys, you gotta read the card as it's written on the board on the card. You discover 2 secrets, so you're getting those 2 secrets. Those 2 cards are added to your hand, but then it would cast a secret with the condition of the first one and the effect of the second one. So you also inherently get the putricide formula secret. But the wording of this is very, very, very weird. You don't keep the secrets? Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. You don't keep the secrets, but you keep it secret. Oh, in this case, it's too weak. Dart trap plus freezing trap wouldn't work. That is correct. We can't even put it up to a vote, chat, to be honest with you guys, because this card has too many issues, right? There's so many questions to be had for this card, which is extremely interesting. But I like the idea of this card. It's kind of cool, but they would have to read it. They would have to write it so much differently in order for this card to be fine. And yeah, I see what it is. I think that's the last card in terms of what we have here. So chat, we have a decision to make. All right, we've gone through both Reddit and we've gone through hearthcards.net. We have the final 2 cards for us to. We have the final 2 cards, chat. There's one more. You can refresh the page. What's the card called? It's called Swarm Knight. I see it. All right, we'll do this one real fast. Okay, fine. Wow, 1 mana, 1 for. Okay, listen. I can't even review this. All right, I can't even review this. You know why? Because it literally doesn't make any sense. How could a warrior and a Death Knight card have the rune requirement? You know what I mean? How? Only DK requires the root. Dude, you can't tell me that this is the case. You can't. It literally, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, guys. Intuitively, you would read that and be like, what? Let me read the rest of the card though. Well, just imagine it doesn't have a rune requirement. 1 mana, 1 for common minion, Death Knight warrior, battle cry, summon 2 1/1 ghouls to attack this minion. So you get the corpse mechanic with that, which is really interesting. And you get an enraged 1/2. Dude, okay, I'm gonna be real here. Great card. Fantastic card. Actually insane. Love this card. Arcanist, great card, dude. Great card. But like, there is no way they would print a card like this. There is no way they would print a card with the rune requirement. Like, let me ask you guys a question. This just picture, look at this card. Imagine just for this moment that the Death Knight side was on this one and the warrior side was on this one. Just imagine for a second. Just imagine. Would they move this requirement to this side? No, they would leave it under the mana cost because that's what that's what the uniform card of Death Knight would look. Correct? There's no way they would move it. You guys are kidding me. Just let it be. Save your last break. It wouldn't. They would never print a card like this. I would fight chat on this. They wouldn't print a card like this. If they're gonna do dual class cards with Death Knight, they wouldn't put a requirement. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Just doesn't make sense. Other than that, though, love the card. Love the card. Think it's cool. Might be too broken. But it's good. I am speed. Anyways, I gotta end this stream. All right, I gotta end this stream. We can't be here forever, chat. Chat, we've done so well, chat. We've done so well. Listen here. These are the #1 cards, okay? Actually, let me make this more intense for everyone in chat. I have streamed like 10 hours of custom cards, I think. Last 10 cards comes. We have done Reddit, we have done hearthcards.net, and we have come with the top 2 cards. One from Reddit, one from hearthcards.net. And these are the top 2 cards in chat. You guys will have to pick one. Potentially get vetoed, but I think both of these cards are worth it. Both of these cards are worth it, okay? Remember, you are picking these cards from The design, as in the balance, the flavor, and would it be fun to have in Hearthstone? All right, here we go, chat. These are your 2 cards. These are the top cards. Both of these are great. Normal Human was a good card. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to make the vote biased. We've gone through so many cards, chat, and these 2 cards, well, the Coral Armorsmith was near the top, but Normal Human lasted for a very long time. Remember how it looks like such a meme? Don't ignore the art. Ignore the art for a second, because obviously the art would not go into the game. Like, the art wouldn't go into the game for sure. The art would not be there. But just imagine the art was Hearthstone, like for Normal Human Man. Tough call, man. I meant the style of the art, not like the art itself, because the like. Wobbling Grunts 2/6 and summons. It's not the same card at all as Wobbling Grunts. It's not. It's not the same thing. Or the art not going to the game? It just doesn't look hard. It doesn't look Hearthstone enough. Doesn't look Hearthstone enough. All right, chat. Based on your voting, Coral Armorsmith is the victor. But when I finally make the video on this, I'm gonna leave this open to the comment section down below. I'm not gonna say what card I think is better. I think they're both great cards. I'm gonna leave this to the YouTube comments when I finally make this into a video, because I feel like I shouldn't be the one to pick. I shouldn't be the one to pick. And on that note, I'm gonna end my stream. I'm gonna go finally eat some food. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon for me now. A long ass stream. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. There will probably be a video out later today, for sure. Probably, yeah. I'm gonna go with yep. And I will see you guys probably tomorrow for a pretty spicy stream. It's gonna be great. I'm really excited for tomorrow. And thanks for having a super fun time with me, chat. This was a very, very long thing to do. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.